My StreamYard people
What's
too.
going on, y'all? Live and direct from the studio. We about to jump it off, y'all. This is, without further ado, the remix.
Hey, bitches.
No, 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 Shorty, I got this one. I'm your boy Derrick, and it's time for the remix.
Once again, coming to you live from Baltimore, Maryland. It's the remix with your boy Derek. Now let's talk about it.
What's
Hey,
up?
what's going on? I forget, man. It's your show. You set it off.
What's up? What's up, people? Welcome to the remix, and we ready to remix up everything that we've been talking about all week long. We're gonna bring in some new stuff. We just want to talk about it. We had wonderful conversation. We don't do drama. We see drama begins with a D, and we got a thing that we deal with. It's called delete. Drama equals delete. So if you bring drama, we will put delete. Boing, yoing, 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 yoing. Next, auto ready pickup. Okay.
Guarding people checking in. As y'all know, we are doing this on multiple platforms these days. Tonight we got it going on here in these Bigo streets, live on IG, the Tube, and the book. So we got everybody commenting from everywhere.
I'm
Okay.
excited. I'm excited about tonight.
Check out the show right now. That is Hawk 45, Eric Hawk 45. We got my goddaughter checking in. What's going on, goddaughter? She checking in from the iGram. Of course,
All right, Instagram.
right here we got our boy Hugh Lee checking in. What's going on? E-Buck and Derek, what's going on, Hugh Lee?
What's up, Shorty?
My partner in crime from my Game Time Audible show, of course.
Which
We
is
got
an excellent show to watch if you got anything sports on your mind. They know it. They the sports guru. They be doing the damn thing.
right on, right on. We got Truth checking in from the Humble and Tune family. Appreciate it. All right, D, so go on, set it off. This your thing. We're going to do what you want to do. What you
Yeah,
got?
I was just sitting here and a wonderful topic came up that I wanted to share with you guys. I mean, a lot of topics we come up, it comes from you guys' comments or something that's going on. So my question to you is, are you prepared if the lights go out in your damn house?
That is a very good question. Now, let the people know why we come up with that at this moment.
Because me and me and my little brother ready to do a show, and I called him and said, you know what, all of my goddamn lights went out in the whole damn building. And guess I will be the one to tell you I was not prepared worth a shit at
No,
all.
it's not. So here we are. We about to do a show live and direct, y'all. Who are you checking in? And we about to go ahead and go live on Gram and Vigo and all of that. And guess what? Power goes out on the other side of the board. So it's like, okay, this is my show, but I can't do it because I'm in the dark. So it's like,
Right.
what to do, man? You know, you're doing stuff remotely. So on this end, we okay. But on that end, my partner, the person whose show it is, can't do the show because it's dark as fuck in that yacht.
And
So it's like,
I couldn't even pull up. I couldn't even do it off of my phone because my phone was only like 5%. So it's like, I mean, it's like little things you need. We most definitely going to need a portable charger at all given point in time. Because at least if your electric go off, at least you'll still have your damn phone, so you can communicate.
I hear that. Okay, on the Bigo, my people's truly checking in saying, yeah, I'm gonna need to get an interview with Uncle Hawk for real though. We appreciate that. Yeah, definitely want to bring you on, and this is actually the person that you would want to interview with as well, because of course Derek, also known as Helena Hologram to the peoples, is among other things a awesome fashion designer, as is truly.
That's what they tell me. I can do a little. You remember, I had an order for my ex wife's. She sent in an order for three garments: a dress, a skirt, and I don't know if I should tell you all this, but anywho, I'm the kind of sewer that I sew better under pressure. Now she gave me the stuff Tuesday, a whole new dress, a skirt, and him up a dress. Child, I woke up Saturday morning that she needed to buy 1 o'clock. Keep in mind, a whole new dress, a whole new skirt, and him and the child. I woke up at 6 o'clock and I started that stuff at 10 o'clock and was finished by 12 o'clock. But I would never tell her that. I mean, I work better under pressure.
Hold on. You mean to tell me you made a whole entire dress in 6 hours?
I made a whole entire dress, a skirt, and a hemmed up a dress
Ain't that about? Y'all hear that? That
from
is
scratch,
crazy. From
from no
scratch,
pattern.
no pattern, no nothing.
No, she had a shirt that she liked, and she liked the pattern. So I cut off part of the shirt, and then I add the dress part to the bottom of the shirt. It's like a baby doll dress. But I was like, but I always so like that. I don't know if I don't ever tell my clients that, but I don't know why I so better under some things. You know, some things in life you do better under pressure. You know what I'm saying?
I
Like, you know,
hear
sometimes you feel as though sex is better if you think you're gonna get caught. You know how it is.
that. So yeah,
So
that's what. So yeah, Truth checking out. Okay, go on do your time, Truth. Master PD men checking in from the Bigo streets.
So back to you. I mean, are you prepared? I mean, let's name some of the things that you think that you will need if the electric goes out. I mean, everybody will want a generator, but we know damn well everybody ain't gonna have one of them. So what else are you gonna have? And when you think you got to think of things that you need that are going to be safe because we all think of candles, but we got to have candles in a safe in a safe environment. You know what I'm saying?
All right, now see, keep in mind, folks, when the power go out, we gotta assume that it's probably gonna be a 24-hour or less due. Okay, so let's be prepared for at least that much. So that being said, you got to get your batteries going on. You got to make sure you
Right.
got batteries in the house for all your battery powered stuff. So if you got that battery powered radio, the battery powered TV, battery powered lantern light, all that stuff you need batteries for. Okay,
Them
first of
little
all,
press lights, because I
right.
was at me and my niece was actually at the Walmart the other day. You know the little press lights that you have. That you could. I need to buy about 20 of them so I can just because you know you can put something on the wall. You can put. I need to buy some of them to strategically place around the house so the house can be lit because you know ain't much you can do with the refrigerator other than have a cooler full of ice and hope and pray your shit don't thaw out.
Exactly. And then of course another thing is you gotta have a plan. So if your power go out, you gotta figure out, okay, where is this? Where I'm putting that at? What's gonna happen if it's out for 1 day, 2 days, 5 days, and so on. Bottom line,
Right.
if it's out more than 5 days, you got a whole nother problem, folks.
Yeah, you do because you know damn well your landlord ain't gonna pay you for the food that went up in smoke.
First of all. Second of all, if you're power for 4 or 5 days, if you live in one of those landlocked places where little creatures like to go around and whatnot, so they ain't got no light to scare them off, and no telling what you may wake up to in your backyard or hell in your house if it's suddenly these holes that they're able to find because the lights ain't blinding their little eyes no more.
Right. So it's. I mean, I guess it's just something that you know that we really don't think about, and I think we really need to take under consideration because, even down to electronics. I mean, sometimes you can have a power surge and it'll fuck up your whole computer.
Absolutely.
So
Because if you don't have those surge protectors and whatnot, as soon as the power kick back on, pop, and then
right,
it's a whole nother problem.
and then you got a problem with that because you know. I mean, let me see. I think you're gonna need a couple of the big flashlights because that's the case because you could take them and you could place them in the middle of a room to give you that light going up like that. You know, I'm thinking of more battery operated things compared to things that you have to light and leave lit and all that. But I don't know what the hell you're gonna do for heat. I mean, if the power go out in the wintertime, what the hell you gonna do for heat?
Exactly. Okay, we got Dr. Facey checking in. What's going on? What's going on, Marlon?
So hello, young lady. So what are we gonna do for heat? I mean, other than big blankets, but you know, let's say if you in there and you don't have candles and you don't have flashlight, then what? I mean, I guess you're gonna use the light from your cell phone. But what if your cell phone die?
Now, see, this is where you are implored to do things like, for example, if you go on Amazon and you want to do some shopping, you got a little extra money to spend. You want to go on Amazon and look under survival equipment.
Okay.
Equipment. Under that, you'll have a whole listing of things that pop up, and among them may be little heaters where basically you take a piece of charcoal or something similar to it, you put it in there, you set it
Hmm.
by the window, of course, because you don't want to be breathing in the smoke from the charcoal, and you may be able to heat up a little way that way. Also, remember they have those fire pits. So let's just say your power outage happens sometime around the summer or late spring, where okay, you can't see outside, you can't see inside, but because it's just warm enough to where you can go outside, you can go ahead, light up your little grill or whatnot, your little heater, and just sit out there for a while until the power come back on.
And that's another way that you can actually, if it cuts out, and that's a good thing. Another way, if it cuts out, that's how you can practically cook your dinner for that evening is on an outdoor grill.
Yep. Okay. Another thing Marla suggests: extra battery packs for your phone, because yeah, most of these phones you can buy extra batteries for. So
Right,
when that happens, have that fully charged and ready to go.
right.
Propane
So
heaters, of course, absolutely.
yeah, but see they. I'm Dr. Molly because she know I get nervous with propane heaters being in a closed in space.
Yeah, because yeah, how would that work? I mean, would you actually use that in the house, or are you talking about for when we outside, Marla? Kind of expound on that a little bit. But I know, like I said, I feel like if you put these things near a room, and then of course another thing that you could definitely invest into, there's a lot of solar powered equipment that is.
Right. Right, because actually that's what I use for my backyard because I have what we call pop up drag shows, and they're actually the lights that I use for my backyard along with the tiki torches, and they're actually good. I mean, depending on how big you get them, I mean, people use them for their walkway, but they are very good.
Okay, hold on.
Okay.
Yeah, you have to be careful, but you can use them inside. Understood. Gotta have a nice
See, Doctor
sunshine.
Marley. See, Doctor Marley. I'll be scared of something like that because I've been to use the thing. I have to figure.
Now,
Me.
now, now, you know something that's also key in that scenario when the power goes out. If you have a vehicle and your
Okay.
vehicle is equipped with switches to where you can plug things in other words, you have one of those adapters to where you go ahead, you plug it into there, plug it into where your lighter port or your USB port would be. That also
Right.
would be very helpful in that situation. So you can go charge your phones,
Because
you charge
I think my daughter has a car that you can actually charge your phone in her car without actually having to have her car turned on.
that's awesome. And keep in mind, a lot of these newer cars are going to be electric. So I imagine that scenario will definitely be more to the advantage of people that have no power at that point.
Yeah,
Because
Doctor
you
Marley
know,
said you need to make sure you crack the window and be in an open area. So that would be more or less to probably like put it in your bigger room, like the living room or so. Don't. But I mean, Carmen said don't put the. Excuse my Doctor Marley. I'm gonna be nice tonight. I'm gonna watch my tongue out of respect for you. But don't put the thing in the bathroom, okay?
I mean, some things you just got to use your common sense for people. You feel
Oh,
me?
now don't get me wrong. Now wait a minute, Eric. Don't get me wrong. You know some people got houses that bathroom bigger than their bedrooms, but so I have to
True.
retract that. If you have a small bathroom, please don't put it in there.
Yes, that would not be a wise decision at all, people. Not at all. All right. So, like I said, we got multiple platforms going on. So, excuse me if I'm here, there, and everywhere because we literally are here, there, and everywhere. Guess who else is checking in this evening? We got Lanier in the house. What's going on, Lanier?
Hey, Lanier, how are you?
I second Marla's comment. In fact, I just bought an additional power cell for my phone and ring light that allows solar power. Like I said, they got a lot of good solar powered stuff out
Oh,
now.
good, Lanier. I'm glad you said that. I need to check into some of the solar ring lights because I mean, and see that, and that's the thing that I think people need to keep in mind when we do these platforms. These platforms are educational, and everybody. I mean, like I never even thought of propane heaters. I guess because I'm a big old sissy and I'm scared of anything blowing up, honey. So, but like the extra battery packs that she talked about that people don't think about. Like we talked about the portable chargers. Have them get one or two of them. But and the thing is with portable chargers, there's no need to have a portable charger if you ain't gonna keep it charged.
This is true.
Cause
This
you
is
go to charge, you got to put your phone in the portable charge, and that thing on 0%. So that's kind of like counterproductive. So you have to keep your portable charger charged. Things that you need to keep charging. And one thing I know is I have a makeup mirror, but it's ran by battery. So if I need a little bit of light, I'll just turn it. But those things that those are things that we need to take into consideration, especially most definitely in the wintertime because of heating things of that nature. But it's something that needs to be thought about all year long.
agreed. Because you got to understand, like I said, when your power goes out in the summertime, that's one thing. That's a little easier to navigate more times than not. But when your power goes out in the wintertime, that's a whole nother problem, y'all. You
And
definitely
not even to mention that in the wintertime, and not even to mention that in the wintertime it gets dark earlier.
that part. That
And we know when the sun goes down, so does the heat. So y'all, I just implore you, and it may not be the top 100 topics to talk about. It's just something to think about. How many of us are really prepared for if our electric goes out.
Exactly. Because, like I said, in the ideal world, y'all, you don't never want it to happen. But think about it. More times than not, at least once or twice a year, you find yourself in that situation, particularly if you live in most of your bigger cities. For whatever reason, that power goes out. You would think, okay, I done spent all this money on an electricity bill. It should never happen. But yet it does. And then, especially if you live in one of those rural areas where if the power go out and it might be days before they get to y'all, you definitely want to have some type of plan in a minute to get it done.
Because I will admit, I was capital NOT ready, and I was not ready for this at all. When I was like, okay, you're gonna wait a couple of minutes before we go live, and you trying to act out, but we're gonna work this out because I know if we can get up on it before at least 11 o'clock, we got it going on. So we here, we're gonna talk about it, and just that's just one little thing to consider. Throughout the course of the day, we so busy doing this, and we so with Dr. Marley say, you
Okay,
have to
well,
be
I got you. Okay. Yeah, she says you have to be more careful in small spaces, but do a propane off of rugs and carpet. So like put it on top of your oven door or on the stove top, but put foil on the whole top of the stove. And I'm glad
oh,
you brought it up actually, Marla, because think about it. Some people they still have those gas stoves. So of course, if your power go out, that don't mean your gas went out. So you can also use your stove to heat up with. You can use it for light as well, because of course the flames will help light stuff up. So that's something else you could do.
but with the stove, do you have to consider it releasing carbon monoxide in the air?
Well, see, that's the thing. If you got the propane, that's one thing. But your stove that's in the house, no, that's not the case because you're used to the natural gas and what have you
Okay.
burning on the stove. I mean, like I said, in the ideal world, you want to ventilate whenever you can. Let's be honest.
Right, right. So
It's not
yeah,
good to have a house all just.
yeah, I'm glad that came up because that really made me. I was like, wow. And then I went downstairs to because the building I live in. You would think this would be the Smith building because I'm ready to move because it's like I got a cousin upstairs. I love my family to life. I really do. But
All right, got my cousin checking in. What's going on, cousin Doris? Appreciate you.
you have some family members. It's better to not live by. Let me shut up anyway. Okay. Yeah, yes, I
Okay.
do have family. Maybe y'all live in a perfect family and y'all everybody love everybody, blah blah blah. But guess what?
Hey,
I don't
Sparkle
live.
Face, what up, though?
I don't live in that family. Okay.
I
So
hear
let's
that.
we go since I started, or we're gonna go to your we're gonna do a commercial break, and then we're gonna go to your question, and then we're gonna come back. Okay, she said crack kitchen
All right.
window.
Yeah, go ahead. Crack kitchen window or a window somewhere else. Absolutely.
So the key, so the key, like Eric and Dr. Marler was saying, the key to having propane is not that you can't have it. The thing is, um, you have to be very careful with it. I mean, propane just like candles. I know people who like candles, and I'm like, why would you like the candle in front of a closet full of clothes? You got to be very strategic of what you do when you do these things. That's why it needs to be planned.
Right. And like I said, you have to have a plan in place because these are one of the things that's more likely going to happen at some point. So you should at least have an understanding. Just like if your house catches on fire and whatnot, you usually have some type of escape plan. Okay, this is where the family gonna meet up in case the fire happens and what have you. This is what we need to try to grab and what we can grab and so on and so forth. You
Or
should
if
have
you
a whole thing thought out.
if you know of now we keep it real, little brother. If you know of 100, let's say we know 100 people, how many out of those 100 families do you think realistically have a fire escape plan?
I would say in a normal city like that, maybe 9 or 10 out of that
Yeah,
100.
yeah.
Maybe.
Because nobody ever thinks that.
Or those electric, they will have clothes everywhere. Exactly. And how many times every year do we see where they have one of those fires in the wintertime and find out it's because the heater was left on or heater was put somewhere close to a place that caught easily on fire, that type of stuff.
And see, Dr. Marley, in most cases, Dr. Marley, you always an exception to the rule too, so you don't count. I love you, but you don't count. You're an exception to the rule. We
Yeah,
talking
you
about
know,
everybody.
everybody ain't got good sense like you could. You know what I'm saying? Sad but true. Okay, we got Big Hobo checking in on the Bigo. What's going on, Big Hobo? Shout out to you, Sparkle Face. Also seeing Queen B in the building. What's going on, y'all? Appreciate you. But okay, we're about to hit the commercial break here on the main show.
But read that. I can't believe
That is awesome. Look, my cousin said,
Dr. Marley, you want can you? I'm gonna send you a layout of my apartment. Can you draw me up? Can you draw me? Can you draw me up an escape plan? Thank you.
Yep. So, bottom line, y'all, you probably go out, have a plan in place because you never know when it may happen. So that being said, y'all, we about to go and hit this commercial break. When we come back to the remix with your boy Derrick and special guest myself, we gonna be talking about the family reunion, y'all. What y'all been doing for the family reunion? I know because of COVID, if you may have had one planned last year, it didn't happen. But in the future, what you gonna do? What makes a good family reunion, family outing? What makes a bad one? That's what we talk.
Uncle Junior makes a bad one. Go ahead.
That's what we talk about when we get back. Is Uncle Junior invited? All that stuff. You know what I'm saying? This is the remix with your boy there.
What's up?
Hey, bitches.
And now, once again, from the iconic city of Baltimore, we bring you season 2 of Helena Hologram. Hey, bitches. Let's talk about it.
One.
Hi everybody, I'm Lily and today I want to share my book with the whole entire world. I would read you the book, but one day you might not buy it. Thanks for going on this adventure to the aquarium with me. Bye! At the bottom of the screen to see where you can buy the book. And make sure you don't forget to like and subscribe and give this video a thumbs up. And make sure you subscribe to my YouTube channel.
All right,
Say
y'all.
subscribe to my YouTube channel. Welcome back to the remix. What's up?
What up, dog? All right, so check it out, y'all. Before we go on to the next topic, and actually before we even go there, we're gonna talk about something that we said we was gonna talk about earlier because my cousin brought it up. So
Thank
that
you,
being
Dr.
said,
Marley. Thank you for the unbeknownst to you segue.
you so crazy. Anyway, hey man, I know you did too. Okay, basically she's saying as far as the family union, cousin Doris is invited. Absolutely, she is. Hey B, what's going on, cuz? Amen. I know you did too. And she says, I'm a licensed foster home. I mean, we are licensed foster home. That's why she has to have those plans set up
Right,
like that.
right, right, right.
No, this is the subject that she wants to actually talk about. So let's go into it. I'll let you read that on out.
I've been watching this George Floyd case. So sad, had me in tears, and you know what? And that's one of the things we're gonna pray for you because I need to pray for me too because that's one of the reasons why I told myself that I don't think I was in a space that I could watch it, and if I did watch it, I would have to be very watching it to the point that at the drop of a dime, if I need to cut the TV off, I need to switch the channel. I need to switch the channel because I know that's the kind of case it is.
When I say that, it seems like every day I'll attempt to watch it, and probably like 15 minutes in, I am so highly upset that I cannot even think straight. I mean, I just cannot understand. We have seen it live, how it happened from so many different camera angles that they have it right now. They basically showing all the body cams, all the cameras that people have submitted that it was being taken. I mean, one, the fact that so many people had that on film and nobody felt like they had the power to do anything. First of all, second of all, the fact that it happened the way it happened. How long it happened? 8, 9 minutes. They had that man down on the ground, hemmed up, with the knee on the neck, unable to breathe. He's saying, he's crying out, y'all killing me. He crying for his mother. He crying for anybody to help. He telling folks, I can't breathe. He said it several times. And it's like there was no remorse on the part of that man that murdered him. I can't see it no other way. I understand it's murder, but no, we seen it for ourselves. It was murder, plain and simple. And the fact that they're trying to paint it as anything else is very disturbing to me.
9 minutes and 29 seconds, and that's me. I can't because and y'all know I keep it real with y'all. Y'all know I keep it real. That's my thing. I keep it real, Helene, and keep it real. And the reason why it's hard for me to watch because it would have me begin to
I mean,
begin to have
look
my
at this.
feelings looking at non people of color in a different way. So that's why I have that's why I have to be very careful of when I watch it, how much I watch, because you know what. And then a lot of things that people aren't taking into consideration. But just think about all the people who was there and saw it and couldn't do anything.
I mean,
Think
and
about
some people have went as far to say, well, man, y'all could have rushed in and did something. No, think about it. The 4 officers that you saw were there, but there were additional officers there as well. Okay,
right
keep in mind they all are fully armed with guns and all of that. And the idea,
guns,
saying, yeah, if it was 100 people there, y'all all could have rushed the officers. They only could have shot so many, but you know that ain't how people think.
and
And
that's
that's
not
what
because
it is.
you got to realize. Let me tell you something, honey. Yeah, and as my little brother always said, I'm have to start taking things from him because I took something from Brother Stan too. But that's what I do. Okay, praise the Lord. Um, in the perfect world, yeah, everybody would have bum rushing, blah 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 blah. But guess what? We're not in the perfect world, and you know that's not gonna happen. Then it's sad because I hear so many people say, "Well, I would have did." Well, you wasn't there. You don't now. What you would have did being on the outside looking in is entirely different from what you would have did had you been there and you saw all of this stuff transpire yourself.
Absolutely. Because, like I said, until you put yourself in that situation, there's only so much you could have done. Look, they had already pulled a gun on George anyway. Exactly. The
So
gun
that
was on before they
so
either
they
put him in the car or at least attempted to the first time.
so they came there prepared for somebody to just step out of whack just so they could have a reason to justify why they shot yet another person. Right, and so many children. I mean, it is like, but how, whew, but Dr. Marley, good young lady, we might have to bring you. I can't. I was ready to bring you on the screen, but you're doing too much. I can't. I can't with you. But no, I'm like the mental effect that it's going to have on children, especially. Let's think about the children in his family first.
Right.
You know
I
what I'm
mean,
saying? The children in his family, and just think about
his youngest child, who I think is what, 7 now, she is definitely watching this trial to see what goes on, and they have to explain to her every little bit of why they basically making her father look like this demon.
you know what, Dr. Marley, and you may not agree with me, but you know what? This is a very sensitive but teachable moment. Listen to what I'm saying. It's a very sensitive, but it's a teachable moment with our kids and our grandkids and things of that nature. But you have to be sensitive when you teach it. You just can't go all out of whack. You know what I'm saying? But this is just me. I think it's a very teachable moment. What do you think, little brother? Can you
I,
bring that? Can you bring Dr. Marley in on this
yeah,
segment?
absolutely. Yeah, we're gonna send you the link. But
Yeah.
yeah, I completely agree. This is a very teachable moment because you need to understand one, this is how the law works. Even though we've seen this person get killed and it should be very cut and dry, it's not. You have to understand how the legal process works. And as a child, as difficult that is, because some of us adults don't even understand that, we still have to go the route of, okay, well, this is how it's supposed to go, and then this and that. But the other thing you need to see is that the world is a hateful place. And because it's a hateful place, we are in a situation so sometimes what we are shown on TV and how it is spun by others affects the whole scenario. Because remind folks this part. If we did not have all that live and direct on several different camera angles and all this was hearsay about what happened, this story would play out way different.
But
Way,
see, and the thing that I'm seeing, and the thing that I'm thinking, and a lot of people are not really paying attention to it, is that because they knew that that officer was so wrong. Did you see how quick um they kind of like took it out of the news?
right, exactly. Hold on. My DJ Sparkle, what's going on, y'all? We're doing the podcast right now. The remix with your boy Derrick. Right now, we're talking about the George Floyd trial. So if you got any comments, go ahead and chime in.
So
But
I'm
yeah,
like, but I'm like, it's like that. You know, let me tell you. Let me tell you. I'm not even a lawyer. Y'all know I'm not a lawyer, but I can act like a lawyer. Okay. Uh, I'm Perry Derrick. No, but anyway, I mean it's like and the way that this is a teachable moment for us as an adult, it should be a teachable moment to make us want to dissect the law just a little bit more.
so true. So true. Because, like I said, the fact that we don't understand half of what they're attempting to do to get this man off, and we should know that. So, in the event that we find ourselves in that situation, we'll know how to contend with it properly, or know that it's being contended with properly. That part,
And
because
see
see,
that's and see that, and that's the thing. I think a lot of us go in um um with a mindset of not knowing what we're going into, and that's how we sometimes get the short end of the stick.
right,
Because you know, a lot of people go in on the aspect of, well, we're gonna sue. Look, don't get me wrong. That's what you're gonna do. That's your thing, boo. Do your thing. But I need you to make it to the point where you say, okay, suing is good, but we also got to do something. But we can change the laws, and people add that on. Don't just make something that's gonna stand, because that money is only gonna last for so long.
exactly. Because in the end, let's be honest, there is no numerical amount that is sufficient for taking somebody's life.
None,
They cannot
none,
pay you $1. They cannot pay you $1 billion. It's
none.
not enough.
You know, I can recall my nephew was gunned down in Annapolis, Maryland, and I guess the most disturbing part to that to me was that the police in the corner just let his body lay on the cold ground for like 8 hours even before they removed him.
Wow.
So you
That
think children are around? You know what I'm saying?
mm,
Children are around. I'm like, wow, are people really that? But then I think, you know what? If people are disrespectful when you live, and what the hell makes you think they're not going to be disrespectful when you did?
absolutely, absolutely. Because like I said, for some of these people, y'all just a body to them. Y'all just
Yeah,
a no longer living piece of skin,
right,
and they treat you like that. And it's
right. And you know, like we said on the show numerous times, and I won't say it again. And yes, this is coming from my mouth and my mouth only. Listen to me, children. Hate is not now, nor has it ever been anything that you were born to do.
exactly that is a learned behavior. In other words, people teach you how to hate, just like they teach you to be racist. They
Yeah,
teach you to prejudge people. Those
Yeah.
are things that are not inborn with us. Those are things we learn, wrong
Right.
things that we
But
learn.
I think Dr. Muller here.
All right, wait for you to pop on up, cuz. As soon as you do, we will put you in.
But you got so many platforms going on. You trying to be the platform meister, okay? Cause
Yes,
yeah, I most definitely want to hear Dr. Muller's um um input on, us as parents, and us as, and when we say parents, I mean us as people in a place where we have effects on somebody else's life. Us as parents, us as uncles, us as aunts, us as grandparents. If you're in a point where you can make a serious impact in somebody's life, use this as a very teachable moment, because I think because we, first of all, we know that this is something that's not going to ever hit the history books.
absolutely. These are only things that they will like mention briefly. The real deal you want to find out from the people that was there or the people that saw it live.
That's why I
Okay,
saw.
don't see you backstage though, cousin. Yes, we did. Okay, we're gonna do it one more time. Yeah, keep
Yeah,
going.
do it one more time, because I love her input. She's just so
I definitely would like to hear what she has to say on that.
and Eric, and it's just like what we always talk about, and with the village, we're not passing anything down anymore. Nobody, no little girl is getting her mother's wedding gown. No girl is getting her grandmother's wedding ring. Nobody's passing down a house anymore. Nobody knows where the family Bible is, even if they had a family Bible. And all of those things were serious history to us, because we know in most families the family Bible was the family tree.
Right. Okay, hold on. Here she is. What's
Hey,
going on,
Doc.
cousin?
Hello, hello. How are you doing?
All
We got
right. So I wanted your input, because I'm a little different than most. Praise the
because we
Lord.
got my cousin Dr. Marla
But
cousin in the
but I
conversation.
wanted your input on this being a teachable moment, and it being, and by you being a parent, how, I mean, we have to realize that it's a sensitive teachable moment, but I think it's a very
Yes,
teachable moment.
it is a teachable moment. But one of the things that I'm finding is that um, it's kind of hard to teach. It's hard to teach something that is something you really don't want to teach to your children. You don't want to teach them that if they go down the street, this can possibly happen to them. My grandson is 14 years old,
Oh
and he was
wow.
sneaking out of the house in Texas, and my daughter was like, Mom, he went into somebody else's backyard with his friends, just thinking I'm just gonna jump over the fence. You know what I'm saying?
Right, right.
And they pulled a gun. And he was for it. He was said, well, I go over their fence in the day and they don't have a problem. But you were sneaking out at night, and now you're just like any other nigga. You know what I'm saying?
Right, right,
You know
right,
what I'm saying to them? And you're 14. You're not a little boy. You're a little boy to us, but you're not a little
right,
boy. So trying to even explain that to them, like, yeah, you're doing just like most teenagers do. They do sneak out. They do things like that. So you're no different. But this world doesn't, it's not the same. Or it may be, it's probably the same. It's more, phone wise, we can see more,
yeah, yeah,
but how do you really explain to them how nasty the world really is? You
Yeah,
know, how really disparaging it can be when you don't do what your parents tell you to.
right,
We're telling you not because we don't love you. We're telling you because this can happen. And even though George Floyd's situation is different, but you know, like you said, how are they going to tell his little girl, 7 years old, your dad died for what? $20, a fake $20 bill that we still don't know whether he knew he passed it off on purpose or not.
right. I
I
mean,
mean,
because like I said, that was one of the key parts that I saw when they talked to the actual cashier that took the bill. And basically, he just is so regretful that he even said
Yeah,
anything about it first. He said, if I knew all this would have happened, I just would have paid it out my pocket.
yeah, yeah, yeah. And
yeah,
I
because
mean, imagine the guilt that little boy had because he's still a kid.
Yeah,
He's a kid. He was a
yeah,
kid too. And he's just a 16, 17-year old just trying to have a job. He ain't trying to, you know, and to have that kind of guilt, walking around just having that guilt saying, it's my fault. You know, I mean, it's my
right.
fault this man's dead, but it's really not his fault.
Not
But
at all.
right, but then you think, well, if I had kept quiet, would I have lost my job?
Right. He
So I mean, you got to think, and just like I said, a lot of people got to realize that this incident affected just as many people outside of his family as it did inside his family, because it affect people who are mothers and who are fathers and who have little children. It's like, wow. But how would I react if it was closer to my house?
right, right. I mean, there's how would I have acted if I was the manager of the store even? Because
Right,
you lawfully you doing what you're supposed to do.
Right.
You're now I probably me myself the type of person I am I would have handled it different
right,
because just because I'm older now and there's just a lot more $20 wouldn't have meant that much to me.
No.
You know,
Yeah.
I would have been like I'll pay that or I mean because I like I told Eric the other night I said the main thing is the store manager was also I think the store manager also was an I don't know what I don't want to talk about nobody race, but he was something else, you know,
Yeah.
like Indian or whatever they are,
Other. Yeah.
you know, and a lot of them, I hate to say it, but they come over here in the country and they get money hungry, and it's
yeah,
like your job, you're building with all your stuff in the store. It's insured. It's under bond. You know, it's bonded and insured.
hmm
So if you lose a $20 cigarette, if you lose $20 behind some cigarettes, your cigarettes is covered. You know
right,
why are you tripping over $20? Just
right.
tell the dude he can't come back in your store no more and be done with it.
Plain, you like everybody else telling him he can't come back in your store. You like all the other store owners put a little picture of him on there. He's not allowed.
Right.
Y'all know how y'all do. This ain't
Yeah.
nothing new to y'all.
Exactly. Exactly.
But see, here's the interesting thing: the fact that it's been almost a year now since that happened, and
8 months or something, I think.
that whole neighborhood is thoroughly cut off to traffic. There's no traffic allowed in that area, only walk-through people. So they've literally shut that whole neighborhood down. And part of the people that they have that are National Guards, they posted up in that neighborhood right now as we speak.
Hmm.
But what kind? But what kind of economic disadvantage is they putting that
Who's that?
neighborhood in now?
Right.
Right.
Right. And you got
Right.
those kids that are so damaged. That little girl said the one that shot the video. She said, "I haven't even been inside the store since that happened." Do you know? I mean, the trauma those people have.
That's what I'm saying. The people who were standing there, and like we said, everybody always becomes Superman after a while. Honey, girl, child, please. Daggone well, if you were standing there,
You would have
what would
stood
you have
too.
done? Nothing.
Right.
Those police already came out with their guns drawn. They already knew that if anything popped off, we was ready to pop it with you, girl. You would have did nothing.
Because look how quickly that Asian police officer, I can't remember his name, but look how quick he kept shoving people. It didn't take him. He didn't mind putting his hands on somebody.
Because,
Mhm.
because after my thing is after he saw what was going on, he was like, "Well, we better keep these people in check because if we don't, it's gonna be a whole mess up in here."
Right.
And
Right.
see, and the thing is, and I hate that it didn't go this way, but I think they should have tried all of them at the same damn
I
time.
think so too. I think so too.
You know what?
Now was this.
I
I'm
thought
gonna tell you.
about
I'm
I
gonna
don't
tell
think
you what
we're
I'm
gonna
gonna
put
tell you
away
what my non-lawyer mind is thinking. I think that they said to themselves, if we try all of them at the same time, they have a better chance of being tried separately.
And that's the point because in the end we know. I say in the end, at least two of them they get off with, and that's it. They're not doing
yeah.
no further jail time or any of that.
And the
And
only
that's what
one that I can,
problem
the
is.
only one that I can, I don't agree with none of them, but the only one that I halfway agree with that at least one of them, the brand new one that would only been on the job 4 days, he's the
Right.
one that said, "Why don't we turn him on his side? Why don't we let it? Why don't you leave?" He said something like, "Why don't you let him up or let him go?" Or,
You know, saying let's check his pulse and all that stuff.
and all, yeah, he kept, he's the only one, and he wasn't even forceful, but that's because he was brand new.
Right, right, because he probably was thinking, if I say the wrong thing, my rest of the time in this precinct is gonna be living hell.
Yeah, yeah,
True.
yeah.
Okay, we
Yeah.
got Rose Stardom checking in on the Bigo. What's going on, Rose? Say what's
You know,
up to you.
I just sit back and I just say, um, we as parents, it's a shame that we have to Pray the whole time that our sons are out the house, and pray that when the phone ring, it's not that phone call. Pray when somebody and look, y'all, that's not the life. That's not a life for no parent to live.
It isn't. And I've been through that to some, not to the
even
best part, but I've been
even when
through
we're
it.
the parents and we say, well, my child is this, and my child is a good child. But you know what? Once your child's on the outside of your door, good child or bad child, everybody look at
Mhm.
y'all just the same.
I can tell you, man, I have good children, bless the Lord. But my child went to prison, okay? And he was a good child.
Mm.
He still got in trouble. And he was raised in the church. I gave him everything that I could give him that I did not have. You know
Right,
what I'm saying? And it wasn't that he was a horrible child. I had to go away to Iraq, had to leave my kids with people that, you know what I'm saying? It
right,
was it
right,
was some circumstance, but
right,
at the same time, he still knew better than to deal with
right,
someone who he dealt with.
right.
But they still he got in trouble with a couple white guys the first time he got in trouble. And the two white guys that was with him, and I know a lot of people I'll probably see this later, but they did not get in trouble. He's the only one that spent some time behind
And
bars.
see, and that's
You know
crazy
what I'm
because
saying?
that's similar to
The
Aunt
only one.
story. What's going on with her son right now? So she dealing
Right.
with the
And
same.
then he ended up, because hard headed at this point, it's like, well, I'm gonna get out and I'm gonna stay in this area. You know what I'm saying? And I'm telling him, get out that area.
Right,
I
right.
don't no longer live there. You don't have to stay there. But he got a girl now. So now the girlfriend wants him to stay. And he got in trouble a second time because of a light out in his car. And then it went from one thing to another. Then it was like, oh, I'm getting a phone call talking about they getting him for 30 years. I'm like, did he kill somebody? What happened? They done took my son's car, took it up to the precinct area, put drugs in it, and went on the hilltop and tried to catch other people with my son's car. And when I had to get a lawyer fight, they finally threw everything out, but he ended up spending 8 months in anyway, just so the judge say, you know what, we need to teach him a lesson. And it did turn him around.
Right.
It did turn him around, but it was if I hadn't had no money or had people that was willing to help, you know, I bless God for the
But
people
that's
that He
but
had
that,
in my life.
but that's still 8 months of his life.
Of
Right.
Like
hell, of
That you
hell.
cannot come back from.
and
Exactly.
I tell the story. I get kind of emotional when I tell it, so y'all don't pay me no mind. I'm just an emotional being. That's just who I am. Like I was saying, and that's why I was telling Eric that a lot of times we need to begin to dissect these laws because first of all, a lot of these laws not for us. They're not meant for us.
Right.
So we get upset about certain things that happen. I say, but you know what? Just like when everybody was on the vice president, when she was in California, she did this. I said, well, first and foremost, the first thing you got to realize is that was her job. Second of all, if the law say don't cross the street if you black at 3 o'clock, and you cross the street and you black at 3 o'clock, and you get don't blame it on her for a lot. You got your own self in trouble. That's her job. So if
Yeah.
you're going
Yeah.
against the law because you're black, she's supposed to say, "Oh, let's overlook this," and then we'll give them something else to talk about.
Right. 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 Right.
So I'm like, she
That's
was in
true.
the catch-22. That was basically her job. Period. The books
Hmm.
laid down and said you can't do A, B, C, D, and E. A lot of you guys out there who's slinging. A lot say, okay, well, we can't do it, but we're gonna get these little young boys to run for us because if they get in trouble, they'll get less time. Child, I've been around the block a couple times. I know a little something, something. You know what I'm saying?
Hmm.
But the laws are just so against us. Like in my instance, I spent 45 days in jail off of a bogus protection order.
Oh wow.
And the key,
Lord.
and you know what the key word in that protection order was? That me and the person were partners.
Mm.
Me and that person had never been partners. But
Mm-hmm.
because that person wrote that on a protection order, everything from there, any and everything that person said was fact. The person said I was in a gang. Could you imagine me being in a gang? My
I
name
mean,
gonna be
gangs. There's all kind of gangs.
right, right, but okay, a gang, not one of them gang, one of them what's up, Shorty. One of
I'm
them,
in a gang myself. It's just not the
right.
same.
Like my name be brother doorknob or something. I don't know, but But I'm like, and then it was like, well, he pulled the knife on me. I'm like, child, I don't own the knife. He pushed me off my bicycle. I'm like, but all these things kept on going on and on and on, and then his lawyer started postponing the case to be smart. I'm like, but after all this was said and done, I was acquitted of all charges. But I'm like, okay, but who's going to give me my 45 days back?
Exactly.
Who's
Are
going to
they
give me my
are they even
45
willing
days
to
back?
are they even willing to compensate the fact that you may have lost your job in 45 days?
But
I
guess
mean,
what?
you
But
know,
this is the gagger. Within those 45 days, I had just got a job offer from Baltimore City.
yeah. See, oh, you live up in Baltimore?
Yeah.
Oh, I'm not far from you. I'm down here in White Plains.
Oh, okay. So I was like, oh well.
That's good.
But my thing is, how do we, as people, how do we? And these foundations are good for me because I think that people need to be compensated for being falsely
Yeah.
accused. And I mean, and I'm not even talking about the time you missed. I mean, you need to compensate these people mentally as well as financially because mentally, that's not that's you know that
Right.
that
Because you go from already not being anything to them anyway to being an animal because that's really the way they treat you. I
and when
Right.
mean,
you and when you get
I've
near
been
them.
inside the prison as far as like as a even just going in as a church member and going and preaching the gospel in a ministry
When you get in there,
prison before.
them people look at everybody like they're the same. They're disrespectful. They don't care about you. And when I was there, I sit back and I say, but you know what? The same thing, even though y'all got that badge on, the same thing can happen to one of y'all. Y'all could be in the wrong place at the wrong time, and you be sitting up there. And I wonder how the God's gonna act towards you when you on this side of the fence instead of that
Right,
side.
right.
Right.
Well, a lot of them still, even though they still get in protective custody and they still get
Right, right.
unfortunately.
So
Yeah.
how much longer do we think this? How much longer do you guys think this trial is going to last? And what are you guys? We're going to have at Nighthawk review on the. So how long do you think it's going to last? And do you all think it was a wise decision that they didn't change the venue?
Okay. First of
Change
all,
what venue? Wait a minute. What are you talking about when you say change the venue?
I'm about to explain that because basically, at one point they considered taking the trial out of Minnesota,
Oh, okay. Okay.
like further upstate or even another state entirely. No, they should not have done that. Bottom line, the same problem you had in terms of wanting to change it out of Minnesota, you would have had anywhere else. This was one of the most publicized criminal acts in the history of the world. People in Mozambique, people in Nigeria, people in West South America know about what happened with George Floyd because
I
it was shown on every major network on
mhm.
planet. So no, don't move the trial because that's not gonna happen. Okay. Second thing is, I think this trial lasts at least a month or so. We're gonna get bogged down in a lot of dumb stuff in this second or third week because the main thing now is the witness. After that, we're gonna get to all the little technical stuff, and that's when it's gonna be like, but that's when they're really gonna start sticking the Mickeys in there. Okay. Bottom line is all these things that they potentially want to convict him for, it ain't happening. He getting out for some of this.
Mm-hmm.
Sad but true.
Because the whole thing is all you need is one person. And so there's gonna and when you think about how they pick witnesses, I mean how they pick jurors,
The
it's like
strategy of the defense is that they want to muddy up this trial so much that somebody in that room gets confused and they make no decision one way or another, which causes a mistrial, which means bye bye.
mhm. I mean think about the first witness that they brought up, the very first. I think she was the very first witness, wasn't she, or the second maybe, the white chick,
That was
the white chick that couldn't,
right.
huh?
That was the dispatcher, the first witness.
The first witness, yeah,
Yeah.
the one that came from across the street at the speedway.
Oh no, that wasn't
The white chick that was like, she was
Okay.
probably, I think she was 23 and she came out of Arizona at first. And
Yeah.
the question they asked her, where are you from in Arizona? And she said, just Arizona.
Right.
Y'all don't have towns in Arizona?
Wow.
I mean, and then when she asked, they were asking her like real specific questions. Where'd you go to school at? Um,
Just in Arizona.
all over. It's like, can you name a school you went to school in?
Right.
So it was like they picked, I'm sure the jury picked some people, because see, like, I ain't trying to be funny, but she's from Arizona. She wound up in Minnesota. She really kind of depicted to me. Now, is a P. Oh Lord, you can't say certain things on TV.
Please
Poor,
don't.
poor.
Yeah. Got you. Okay.
And so when you look at that, you're thinking, would they pick somebody like that for a juror? Yes, because they want somebody that
Yeah,
they can really just mix their mind all the way up.
easily manipulated just by
Easily
saying one thing,
manipulated.
and that's exactly what they want.
And so
Right.
you can imagine who they chose for jurors in some ways. Like, okay,
Right.
they talking about there's
Almost
the
3 weeks to pick a jury. That's not usually the case. And
huh?
speaking of that, I said it took almost 3 weeks to pick a jury, and that's not usually the case.
Right.
And keep in mind when we talk about jury duty, we as people of color, we got to stop ducking this jury duty,
Oh,
y'all.
I do my security duty. I
I
be
go.
like, yeah,
I don't like to sit there, but I go and I know one time I went and they picked me and I was almost a foreman. I was like, look, I don't mind doing jury duty, but I don't want to be nobody foreman because when they come and get somebody on a jury, the first person they want to get is a foreman. I hope they'll remember what I look like.
hmm
hey,
And
look, that's when you come in another disguise.
Right there, you go. I be like, we can't have that. But you're right. We
Yeah,
need to take that serious, and we have to realize
yeah,
that a lot of times we don't have equal representation on the jury pool because we don't show up for jury duty.
exactly, we come up with every excuse, but then when we get there, we make up all type of outlandish stories so that we don't even have to be a part of it. But see, like I
yeah.
said, the very person that you may need to help prove your innocence didn't do the jury duty. So now they watch
Mhm.
TV, and that person that's on the jury, they already said you guilty in their head. This
Right.
is
I mean,
what
if you got a jury pool of 120 people and only seven of them are people of color, how many of those people of color do you really think gonna make it on that jury?
right. Because
If one,
Right.
if
remember, you're supposed to be tried by a jury of your peers. But if ain't none of your peers available, then what?
But see, that's why I think we need to make people realize that y'all need to go a little bit more deeper than that because all these just
then you
by
need to make it cost effective.
nationality, all these juries are so daggone tainted from the beginning.
Right. But
Yeah.
then you need to make it cost effective. If you're going to expect I mean, because in reality, now when I did jury duty, I was in the military, and the second time I did jury duty, I was working for the government. So for
Mhm.
me to lose a day, you ain't really losing no money. But for
Right.
a person that works at Speedway or somewhere, they're going to lose a whole day's work for
A
for
fraction
six
of what
dollars.
you got. Exactly.
you know
Right.
So
make
yeah,
it worth it, because that's one of the big problems people look at. They're like,
right.
if
They're
I
like,
got to be
I ain't
out
about
of jury duty
to
for
go like
5 or 6
that price.
days
Exactly.
And
or a
then
whole month.
and you know what the sad part to that is, what makes it even sadder. Even people, y'all don't live. Even people who making don't even make no money. They be like, "Oh, child, I'm not going down there for no $15." Well, child, that's
Right.
$14 more than you had. But I'm thinking even people who don't make no money
Well,
don't
tell
want to
me
go
where
down
they pay $14 or $15, I go, because where we at, it's only like $6 or $7.
Oh
See.
well, yeah. So and like you said, I think that is something very important that we need to make
Yeah,
jury duty more cost effective. I mean,
yeah,
plain and simple.
yeah.
Right.
If I gotta go, if it's a day's work, if it's considered a day's work, then pay me a day's work.
Right,
Exactly.
right. That part.
Now that being said, I promise you that they keeping them in a very nice hotel and they eating good. This particular jury, but basic jury A, not so much.
I don't. I wouldn't bank on that.
Well, see that's
The
not in
reason
the
why I say that is because I was in the jury case that I was
all day.
the jury case that I did in Washington State one time was a kid that got hit by a drunk driver, and
Mhm.
they picked people that lived in the area where they didn't have to choose no hotel. So you can't
Right, 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 right.
they pulling people from their own
Right. Well, like I said,
product.
under normal circumstances, that's probably the case, because Lord knows they're about to feed us all of this Little Caesars hot and fresh pizza.
But you know what? I don't. I
We did not even we had to pay for our own food.
But I most definitely think that this, because it's so high profile. I most definitely think that this is a sequestered jury. I don't
Oh,
think they're letting them people go back home. I think they're keeping them people all in one. But I
right.
guarantee you one thing, and I guarantee, and y'all mark my word for it. On this day, the first day of April, I guarantee you one thing: one or two of them jurors is gonna come out with a book. Mark my
Oh
word.
yeah. Oh
That's
yeah.
what I'm saying. And one or
Because
two
if
of them.
I was, I would. If I was,
Right.
I would.
they already said that they are concerned for their safety based on being a juror, which indicates to me that, oh yeah, I'm finding him guilty of everything because they ain't gonna be coming looking for me.
Right, and see, and that's
But
another
that can
thing.
go either way. That can go either way
Right,
because
right. But see,
because you could be you could be like, okay, well, I'm white and I got all them that want him not to be guilty. That could go either way.
And
You can have both groups on you.
it's sad that we actually sitting here thinking the same thing. That somewhere somebody watching this trial and they looking like, man, I hope he get off. Smurf that N word.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
yeah. You know,
Look, they going, he dead already. What?
Right.
That
ooh,
ain't
there goes another one. It ain't no bad. And you know,
Right.
and that's the thing that I think that we as a community we need to even in our anger, like we said earlier, even in our anger, we really need to figure out a way to make this a teachable moment across the board for our young people, for our adolescents, for our teenagers, for our adults, even for our, even for our children who maybe at a different learning curve than most people. You know what I'm saying? Because we have to share things with them too, so they can be knowledgeable of what's going on.
Okay. Lanier saying that
okay.
being elected to a financial corner is why many people of color make excuses to back out of the jury duty. And it's
That's
a
right.
plain part of systematic racism in our justice system.
And
Yeah.
that you know what? If Lanier, if you ain't never said nothing else right in your life, you said that one.
Yeah. And the other point to that with along with that
Oh, y'all.
is the fact that that people become scared if they're
Yes.
high profile jobs because if you know that because see I'm sure I'm hoping in the jury selection they at least made sure that nobody was connected to nobody else because you
Right.
never know you
No,
know
you don't.
because when you especially when you pull from the same area that the people all live in
Right.
I'm sitting up there I particularly paid some attention to those cops when they asked that one sheriff the sheriff or not the sheriff but the man what you call it he was the boss of the others I don't know what the captain guy or whatever
Mhm.
lieutenant or whatever they said to him what's your relationship after when you get off work do y'all go to because police are just like us in the military go to barbecues together go hang out so I'm
Right.
sure they do that so
Right.
the fact that he said he didn't have no relationship with none of them they just worked for him I don't really believe that
No.
No.
I
No.
No.
don't really
At
believe
all.
that.
And remember, it's being said that at some point George Floyd and the officer that murdered him worked at the same building. Now, if they
Right.
established that at any point they had any type of interaction beyond the realm of just being working in the same place, where they actually knew each other, and he still turned around and killed him, ain't no way on earth that man should get off with none of that.
Right. I that hasn't came out yet in the case, but I'm assuming it's going to come out during the defensive side of it.
Right. And also remember, I don't think they've done it yet, but they still have the person that was actually in the car with George Floyd to talk to in regards to what happened.
He said today that he was not. He took the fifth. He pleaded the fifth and didn't come to court. But
Wow.
I believe the reason why he did that is because the girlfriend in her deposition in her talking today, she was saying that the boyfriend. I mean that she was upset with George Floyd because he had started buying pills and stuff, and she believed he was the distributor, but she didn't have no proof of it. But they have been they've had some tiffs about buying street drugs from that particular guy. And so think about it. If
Yeah,
he
so
was
bottom
being
line,
known as a dealer, he ain't trying to go up to nobody.
if that man gets put on
Right.
the stand, he has to be honest so they can question all his interactions with Floyd, which includes did y'all have criminal acts that y'all was doing, so on and so forth.
Yeah.
So yeah, I
And
get it.
somebody put y'all know I'm a
What's going
Facebook
on?
I like people's slogans and somebody put a saying on Facebook today and I sat back and I was like, wow. And it simply says George Floyd is not on trial.
He's not. He's not.
No, he
He's
is
not.
not.
He's not, because really nothing he did, and that's what bothers me the most. Nothing he did. It doesn't matter what his life was like. It doesn't matter if he went in that store and robbed it. Really, once they had him in cuffs and they sat him on that wall at first on the ground. And
Mhm.
then once they set him on the ground and they decided to get him up, take him into the car, and once they closed the door because they had him in. Remember, they had him in at one point.
Right.
And then they started going to they came around and started want to pull him through. What they should have did was shut the other door and he'd have been up in there anyway.
Right.
You know, but they wanted to go in and pull. Who wanted to pull him out? Like it didn't. I mean, even though he was saying I'm claustrophobic and all that, he would have been better off just being shut both doors. His legs and feet is in there safe. He'll wiggle his way up to sit down. Sooner or
Yeah.
later, he would have.
And take him to the station.
And take him to the station. Why'd you have to get him back out the vehicle? I didn't
Right.
understand.
Bottom line, the fact that he was a person of a particular size, that definitely played into how they dealt with him also.
Right. Well,
Yeah.
I mean, but the point is, he was inside the car.
He was
They
already in the car.
They could have shut the door, uncomfortable ride or not. The precinct wasn't but 10 minutes up the street.
It was gonna be uncomfortable. First of all, let's keep in mind. I wouldn't care if you were 6'6" and you 5'7". That ride is uncomfortable. Period.
Yeah.
But just to keep in mind, him being
laid down
bigger than that. Because my thing is, if you was gonna do all that, why put him in the car to begin with? See
Right.
that's what stuff started getting sketchy. The man was already in the car. Okay, claustrophobic. So if he's claustrophobic, why would you pull him out the car just to put him back in the car?
Right.
Right.
And he's already had an issue because you pulled the gun on him in the first place. See,
Right.
that right there, when you first pulled up behind him, and then you got out the car with your weapon and you pointed it at him. And when he gets up in there, he's just like, oh my God, why did this happen? He's already at a stress level at this point. Because he's
Right.
staring down a bullet at a gun.
Right.
You know, and he's
a black man. And he's a big black man.
and he's saying, please don't shoot me. Please, you promise you ain't gonna shoot me. You promise you ain't gonna shoot me. He kept saying that. He was still scared regardless. So when they started roughing him up and throwing the handcuffs harder and all that kind of stuff, of course he's already agitated. Any person would be agitated.
Right. I mean,
but they never did one thing to de-escalate at all. Not one time did they do anything to de-escalate. There's a way they could have handled that by saying, because most people would have took a written statement by him. It wouldn't have been a total arrest first. It would have been like, let me get a written statement. Let's give him a ticket and he has to be here in court. Simple as that. Little stuff. It didn't have to go down like that at all.
I mean, bottom line, remember, y'all, this all supposedly happened over a fake $20 bill.
That's what I'm saying, though. A fake $20 bill. Okay, so number one, the most he could have gotten in trouble for, really, is even passing it was the fact that he had the $7 or $9 cigarettes.
It's a
$7 or $9 for the cigarettes and be done with it.
It's a misdemeanor.
But let's also keep in mind, and let's be for real, y'all. Y'all know we keep it all to each other. How many people unknowingly every day pass off counterfeit?
Absolutely.
But that's not something that's really accustomed to us as people passing off counterfeit bills.
Thank you.
I mean, just like y'all remember years ago. Now y'all may be too young, but y'all remember Susan Smith years ago.
Yeah.
Child, when she said that a black man carjacked her car, and I said, first of all, if a black man carjacked your car and those two children was in there, he would have set them children on the side of the road, and he would have kept on, girl, what is you talking about? Soon as she said that, I said, girl, you're lying.
It was three of them, remember? It was
right. I'm like, girl, you're lying. Some black men don't even want to pay child support, so I know daggone what they ain't riding down.
They don't want no kids. What you mean?
Right. I'm like, girl, if you're gonna fix the story, fix it up and at least make it believable.
Right.
At least make it look like it's a Chinaman.
Right. I'm like, girl.
Take care of it.
It's sad because, like I was telling Eric, we as a people, we no longer hold on to anything. We don't pass down family homes anymore. Your daughter don't get your wedding dress. Nobody gets the grandmother's wedding ring. Nobody. Who has the family Bible? I don't know.
Do they even have a family?
That's what I'm saying. Right.
And I'm glad y'all brought that up, because, of course, we could talk about this all day and we're going to get into it more as the trial goes on. But right now, we actually want to talk about family, and particularly what goes on at the family reunion or family cookout.
Can I be excused 1 second? I'll be right back.
Okay.
Okay.
All right. So
Fam-
yeah,
oh,
my cousin is stepping out for a second. Okay, let's get into that discussion. Okay, people, here's the deal. As you know, we got COVID-19 going on. It's been going on for a year now. Many of us usually plan some type of family reunion, family cookout once or twice a year. And in the end, what happens is this. The family reunion goes one of three ways. One, there's always those 5 or 6 people that plan it. And if they plan it right, everybody has a great time. But if they don't, it's all hell that break loose. Two, you had the family reunion and y'all just have it at the worst possible place ever with the worst possible people ever, and it ends early and people end up falling out altogether in the family. Or three, you had a family reunion and it's so weird and strange and odd that you just don't know what to make of it. So the thing is, y'all all got families here on G, here on the Bigo, here in the book, and two. So you tell us what makes a good family outing, good family reunion, good family gathering.
Maul is back.
What
Oh,
must what must you have for that to jump off properly?
well, let me say I want to go first because since I'm the senior elder in the
How do you
group.
know you're the senior? I just want to know.
I know you, Dr. Marley. You probably 20 years younger than me. I'm trying to.
Okay, we'll just pretend like that's the way it is.
I don't.
For the record, since I know everybody's age, yeah, he got you by a couple.
Yeah,
That's good.
I'm 55 and glad to still be in the land
I'm
of the living.
55 too.
Oh, when your birthday?
February. I just
I'm
turned 55.
September 26th.
Also, you a little older, just a few months.
I don't, I family now. There's a family reunion, then there's a family cookout. They're two different things.
Right.
Because
Yeah, right.
Yeah,
most family reunions, but a lot of people don't do anymore because family reunions take a lot of planning. You got to get the T-shirts, you got to get the whole. I was like, you know what? No disrespect. I love my family, but you know what? My family not worth all that.
Right, because Felicia's saying here, it's got to be good food and it needs to be reasonably priced for everyone. Now that's part of it right there. Because more times than not, here's what happens. In the end, everybody got that person in the family. You know what person I'm talking about? The one with the real.
Just said it.
They want to be bougie. They want to go to bougie places.
And that's usually the person that dictate a lot of what go on, depending on how you set it up.
Yeah, and then be the same person tell everybody, well, if it wasn't for me, we wouldn't have had this family reunion. I'm like, really?
That,
And they want to go to the Westin hotels.
Right. And everybody else gonna stay at the Econo Lodge.
Rads and all that. They want to go to Cedar Point and do it all there, or at Walt Disney World. Something that can't nobody else in the family even think about afford.
And especially if you got more than one kid.
Right.
Okay, and they're saying they are stressful, and I hate hates when we spend too much money and the food is terrible. Ain't nothing worse than that.
That's why you just go to a free park and just everybody go come in together.
Now keep in mind,
Because if you already picking a place and you got people coming from all over, they're already spending money to get there. Why would you want to go and have them spend money to go to a hotel and do all this other stuff? It's ridiculous.
Right.
And I won't go.
Family reunions are so different now because then you have different people have different eating habits. Now we live in a generation where a lot of people don't eat pork anymore. A lot of us black people, we used to cook collard greens and all that. We used to have that fat back up in there, how they do all that. So
Right.
you got to think about the menu. Then you have some people who just eat vegan. And I'm like, when you're thinking of family, that is a lot. Because, my thing is a family reunion basic. Hot dogs, hamburgers, chicken, potato salad, everything, and some greens. And we good.
Macaroni and cheese.
There you go.
And there it is.
And anything else outside there, honey. If you want the crabs and the lobsters, I applaud you.
Bring it for your own family and keep it moving.
There you go.
Right, but now, like you said, you got all these vegan people now, so now you got to have all type of salads and veggie burgers and turkey meat and all that. Ain't nobody got money for all that.
Yeah, that's crazy. I had a family reunion. Doris can, if she's still on, she can tell you about it. It was a birthday. Me and my husband both.
It's interesting. Her family from the South, they be wanting the whole pig at that boy. I understand that.
Yeah, but we had 32 people in my house because I couldn't expect them to come here and then spend money on hotels and stuff. I was like, I can't do that to y'all, But it makes it where that can be frustrating too, because you have all these different attitudes and people,
and here's another good point, Rose.
and I'm about to whip some kids and everything else,
Right. She's saying, what if you don't trust the people planning it when it comes to giving money? That part.
That part too.
Because they family don't mean they're right. You know that. Some of the people's families, they got that one person want to plan it and they shady in the mud. So in the end, you get there and it's like, I sent you this much money. This all we got?
Then they want to do raffles. Y'all come on with the raffles. Are you serious?
Then you also got to keep in mind that everybody can't afford the same thing.
Right.
If I have a family and it's me, my partner, and we got 4 kids, you can't expect me to get the same amount as somebody who's single and living by themselves.
Right. Without responsibility, still living at home with mama.
And then you be like, well, you know what, you can't get this. No, you got to take all that into consideration.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. And then again, like you said, you got people coming from out of town more times than not. So depending on how many people you got to actually have come in, as opposed to the people that's there, you got to consider that also. Now the way our family set up, a lot of Missouri already.
Right, like Marla said, but and when you have those like 32 people or 33 people in your house, and people don't realize when they leave, they have like offset the dynamics of your house. So you got to get back to what's normal to you, because like, okay, normally I have to wait 3 minutes for the bathroom. Now it's 32 people over here. I got to wait 45 minutes for a bathroom.
Yeah, it was testing, I tell you, but we had a good time, but I wouldn't probably do it again.
And then you got to think about activities, because some family reunions at the end, they have this big old ball. There's some of them do like go bowling, and you got to realize right now bowling is like $18 a whop. I can't afford to go bowling, and I got 4 kids too. Who going bowling?
Right.
Yeah, they said that's a good point you're making there, D, and said and people have multiple children, so you consider all that also. They definitely go out their household. You got all the little crumb snatchers running around.
And then what come off with people that want to go on family reunions and they want to go to a family, they want to take it to an island somewhere or do something. That's a good family vacation, but that's not a good family reunion, because
girl, I can't afford to go down the street. How am I afford to go to some island? I got four kids, a dog, a cat, and a pig. And now they don't let all animals on the plane now. They say all animals can't be therapy animals anymore. So what am I going to do with my pig?
I mean, bottom line, unless your relative is Tyler Perry or Oprah or somebody like that, I don't think you should be planning no outlandish family reunion in some far off locale like that.
If they paying for it, you can plan any kind of family reunion you want. But if we gotta pay for it, first of all, y'all know I keep it real. First of all, I'm not even paying that kind of money to go to a family reunion that some people in the family don't even like.
That part.
Girl,
well, I mean, and then you think about it. I'm just like, I'm not going to say, okay, this is how I view. I got invited to a girls' weekend one just recently. They was like, oh, come out here and they want me to go to Miami. And I was like, you want me to spend first of all, I live out here. So me going to Miami is costing about $500 or $400. Then you turn around, I got to pay for a hotel. You talking about another one. Getting into a bougie place that's $1,400 for the weekend for 4 people. We can split the $1,400 for. Do you realize that's another $400 or $500 for me again for a weekend? Child, please. I don't even like you like that.
And not even to think that if you going away for the weekend, if you want to do your own thing, you might have to rent a car. So that's another $100 or $200 that you got to put out.
Well, why would I take that kind of money away from my family and then leave my husband and my daughter at home?
See, that's what I think when a lot of family members plan things, they plan things according to what they can afford,
what they can do,
and not according to what. You know we still got some people in that family who get a monthly check and get food stamps. Girl, they're going, well, they ain't gonna be able to afford that. And so in other words, you're planning this family reunion and you're only planning it for particular people to come because that's why you planned it like that.
Right.
Okay, hold on, the comments jumping off over here. They always want to do the most. It's hard to plan a family reunion. Absolutely, Felicia. Road is saying those that can't cook should bring cups, plates, soda, or alcohol. They should not even be trying to cook. And yep, you're absolutely right. Now, see, we got to get to that part, okay?
You can't cook.
And it's whole material.
You cannot cook. I'm sorry. And Dr. Marla could probably say all of us on this panel can name at least 3 people in that family that we know cannot boil Water.
Water.
Cannot make a hot dog, a spaghetti noodle, a grilled cheese, none of that.
And can't even use a microwave.
Can't even pop a frozen pancake in.
Right. I'm like,
And I need them people to be as far away from the grill and or cooking items as far as they possibly can.
all the new thing now, you know, these,
and sit down and wait for
like
your
Dr.
plate.
Marty said, you know, the bougie family now, they're hiring. First of all, I ain't never in my life went to a family reunion that was catered.
Hold on now. Now wait a minute.
But wait a minute. Okay, because catering is actually not a bad thing if everybody, because there your expense can be better because you can go ahead and pick, the catering person can pick their meals. They offering only certain meals, so it's probably a lot.
Wait a minute. Let the caterer, please.
Okay.
Remember, this is my expertise. Yes, I have catered family reunions. Yes, there are people that will pay a nice amount of money. So you doggone right, I catered the family reunion because in the end, some of them look at it like, okay, we don't even want to deal with none of that. Here's the money. You do you. We know your food is good. Let me deal with all this other stuff as far as the family go. And I understand that. I'd
actually rather have a catered meal because again, you know, if someone's picking a caterer out, 9 times out of 10 they're bonded, they have a business for it or whatever, and you're not gonna get just any old thing. I ain't eating from ain't so and so house that got 5 dogs in the kitchen or what, or you know, or cats coming on the counter. You know what I'm saying? I don't know that the caterer does or doesn't, but one thing about it, all the food's coming from one place. I ain't got this person over here got some washed up jelly beans.
I'd like y'all choose out, but you know what? I'm gonna be the middleman. But I'm to me, the certain people, not everybody, because like Dr. Marley said, you know, some people. I mean, some people can cook, but every cook is not a clean cook. Let me put it that way.
There you go. I ain't doing it.
You know, so I mean, I like it just because to me it seemed like it brings about more family camaraderie. But I would have to have very select people cooking. You know what I'm saying? I mean, like, that's when you go to like the grandmothers and the great aunts and those, you know, like the younger generation. I'm like, girl, we're not having oodles and noodles, so we don't need you to cook nothing for the family.
No, we gonna have a little ramen. Sorry.
Just bring your ramen for your own kids.
There you go. And we gonna be in the park, so I'm quite sure they're gonna have sockets out there. You can bring your microwave too, girl.
Yeah, Felicia saying I prefer catering because once I pay so much money to get there, exactly.
Yeah.
But with that, how would that affect the cost for the family reunion? How much more do you think they will put on the cost?
Okay, so for an example, say Eric is catering for 200 people. I mean, just say, and I'm just using an example. Because sometimes you get big families, sometimes they're not that big.
Right.
By myself for 200, let's put it that way. But yeah, okay.
Okay, but you could probably even get a team to cook with you. But anyway, regardless, say it's like that, and he's charging a flat rate of $1,000. Then you could split the $1,000 cost between the
200 people.
Between 200 people, and it wouldn't be that much.
Right. But then, you know, I never thought about it like that. But I guess it would be more expensive if you were in a smaller crowd.
Yeah. You know, so whatever the price is, I'm just using that as example.
It'd be way more than that.
Yeah, I got you. But you know what I'm saying? It's still, even if it's $4,000, if you between 200 people, and you know, that wouldn't be too bad. Because if you took your family out to eat and they were somewhere else, they would be charging, you know, if you got a family of 4, that's $80 or $90 for a dinner.
Right.
And then you know, me being crazy here, but then again, you know, at least you have a caterer. Somebody gets sick, you know who to sue. Now let me stop.
That too. You know where the money coming from. You know where it's coming from.
That's part of what you do.
That's part of them being bonded and taking.
Right. I mean, I wasn't saying that in that. I wasn't saying it in the evil way, but that's what you think when you think cater. You know, I need one person is going to be responsible for everything, and this is on you, not on Jackie, not Uncle Tom, not you know.
Yeah,
Okay.
especially when you're taking meals, you're thinking about you're picking up your restaurant stuff and taking it out to somewhere else. There's contamination issues, there's all kind of stuff. So you need to, yeah, I wouldn't
Yeah.
want a whole lot of different, yeah.
Yeah, once you have a head count, factor that into the reunion price. Absolutely. Please.
Mm-hmm,
If
mm-hmm.
a family needs to start fundraising to offset some of the costs.
That's
If
right.
And and that's one thing that my other, that other person, um I do a lot of fundraisers for people having family reunions, but a lot of them, and then just like I tell people, even with that, I say, but you can't have all of your fundraisers be $100 a ticket.
Right,
You
right,
you gotta have fundraisers where you can get the family members that can buy a $10 ticket or a $20 ticket and that's like what Dr. Wall was saying. I think a lot of times they don't take that into consideration. Bro, I can't afford no $100 ticket.
Right.
I'm not
Well,
paying.
I think raffles is a good way to get
Yeah,
money together,
yeah,
because you can do $2 or $3 raffles and ask people that ain't even involved in the family reunion that will buy 2 or 3 raffles. If you just get if you get 3 big presents, but 3 big prizes, and say, maybe a 50-inch TV, and that's the one gift. Well, you
and
get 5 people to buy $3 tickets every,
and that's and that's your contribution to what's going on.
mhm,
Like, if I can, well, give me 20 tickets and I'll sell them. You know what I'm
yeah.
saying?
Hmm.
Because like I say, everybody can't afford those. And when you do those fundraisers, you got to do fundraisers that, you got your bougie ones who gonna go to that $100 affair. But guess what? I'm not her.
right.
I
Lisa
need
said,
those raffle tickets, or I need
"Dinners
those.
at church and stuff. Don't raise money from the family."
What they
Right.
say?
He said, "Sell dinners at church and stuff. Don't raise money from the family."
Yeah,
What?
because it's already coming. I mean, they're already doing a lot to get
Yeah,
there.
that's
Right.
what my family does. They make our family pay dues.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And even dues can be unfair when you got, well, I mean, I don't know. I can't say that, but I guess there's ways it
I mean,
can seem unfair.
you got to understand that there is no fair, equal way to do it.
It's not.
Somebody paying the extra on some of it. Somebody doing the extra leg work.
Yeah.
Somebody doing the extra
Yeah.
planning.
Yeah.
That
Yeah.
Because you want to think the dues are gonna, maybe all the dues are gonna be the same, but they're gonna be different once you calculate this person dues was $100, but yeah, this person has 5 people in their family, so their dues was $500. So how is that? You know what I'm saying? So it's a lot that you have to take into consideration
But
with the dues.
exactly. And then when you think about, if why are people making kids pay this a 2-year-old pay the same amount I mean, you got some people that's just really
right,
retarded. Why would a 2-year-old ain't even gonna eat? They gonna eat off your plate for the most part. They ain't gonna have
Right,
nothing.
right.
Like,
right.
why
Well,
are you I think anybody under 10 years, well, maybe 5, 10, probably 10 even,
yeah,
that you really don't need to charge
Like
that
a
much.
hot dog and
right.
some
You
potato
know,
chips to call it a day.
yeah,
Most of them, and most of them,
That's what
only
we
they
do
only thing
now.
they gonna be doing is playing with their cousins most of the time. Anyway, they're not even gonna spend. They
Right.
probably spend more time wasting those little huggies than they gonna do anything else.
yeah. Make them pay $5 or $10 and that's it. Like,
Right.
why are we charging them for $50 or $100?
And see, that's the thing. That's the thing they need to take into consideration. The prices should be according to the child's age. How you gonna make a 2-year-old pay $100 like an adult, and the 2-year-old is not even going to do half of the stuff that the adult do?
Yeah.
Exactly. Now here's the thing. Okay, now y'all know the key factor in a lot of these family reunions, the alcohol. The alcohol. Now here's the thing. In an ideal world, because I know my cousin not drinking, I'm not drinking, you not drinking, but yet and still we're gonna be around a whole bunch of people. You know how our Buckners get on. Most of them they drink.
Yeah. Marla don't be around them when they
Drinking.
do. Bye. See ya.
What factor does that play in terms of one who's providing this liquor, two who's going to be the person that's going to cut Yaya and Uncle so and so off because after a couple of drinks they're going to be wilding out. Who's going to make sure the kids ain't sneaking around, filling their little cups up with beer and whatnot? What goes
Yeah.
on?
See,
I guess go ahead. Go ahead. I'm sorry.
see, the thing with that is okay. Now, if you have a family union and it's in a park, well, first of all, technically, if it's in a park, you're not supposed to bring alcohol. But
There you go. There you
we
go. There you go. You know they got the brown bag.
key word, you're not supposed to. But
Right.
anywho, I think that people who are drinking are responsible for things that go along with drinking. Like, I mean, don't get me wrong. I don't sit there and look down. I mean, I thank God that I'm August. I'm 5 years alcohol free. But I said sometimes I don't think liquor is a good mix for a family reunion, especially if you have children there.
Right, because I'm gonna tell you what happens a lot of times in family reunions. Them secrets start coming out when people get drunk, and next thing you know, somebody else is being told that they daddy really ain't they real daddy ain't really Uncle so and so. I mean, ain't so and so, but it's really Uncle so and so. And next thing you know, there's a
Your mama used to sell it on the street and all that type of stuff come out.
yeah.
Don't get mad at me because I took your girlfriend and I ended up marrying. I don't. That's what I try. I don't need all that in my life. I really don't.
Yeah.
But teacher is saying nope, alcohol is BYOB. Road is saying those who didn't contribute shouldn't be taking a lot of plates home.
The people that don't contribute shouldn't take nope. They barely should eat. You mean take plate home?
Right, and that's what and they the ones and they the
will have piece of nothing to bring, but will have this container. And in this container, they got little small containers, and they basically set their stuff up to take home a whole week worth of food. And other people be like, don't worry about the leftovers, y'all. We got it.
That's the same as the family union. Back in the day, it was a styrofoam plates and aluminum foil. Now everybody bring their Tupperware. They go to Walmart and get the little sectionals. I was like,
heck yeah. No, actually, last family reunion I went to, it wasn't mine, but yeah, they already knew what it was. So they had a whole little section set up with those styrofoam plates, that you get from GFS. And you just got your little styrofoam, filled it on up, mark your thing on there. Okay, you take it home. Because they knew that's how their family was going to get on.
I mean, I just don't think it ought to be all that anyway. But, I mean, and like when it comes back to the drinking part, I'm kind of like Boi Derrick, Boi Derrick, because I'm used to calling you Helene.
So, right. There was Boi. Look, there was Boi Georgia. Now there's Boi Derrick.
Where y'all from? Y'all sound like my family.
I'm feeling like Boi Derrick about this because I really don't feel like the alcohol ought to really be. I mean, you can't stop everything, of course, but I think when you're actually maybe like after hours, once they consider it closed out, then yeah. But while the family reunion's actually in the essence of the family reunion, I don't think it should be involved.
Unless it's an adult family reunion.
Mm-hmm. You know our family. You ain't about to tell all them Butlers and Shobies and so on and so forth. Okay, we have this family reunion, but ain't none of y'all drinking, especially the younger ones. They do it.
I mean, and that's right. But you know what? Really, if it really boils down to it, it depends on what type of family reunion it is. Because, like I say, if it's not fun for the young folks, they ain't gonna be staying there long anyway.
Not at all.
Them cousins gonna get in a car and then they're gonna roll out wherever they're gonna go anyway.
Okay, and keep in mind, let's go one step further. At some of these family functions, not only do you have to have the drinks, you have to have the herbal essence. You know what I'm talking about. Now, okay, we're going to about that there.
I'm already.
Now you want to run. Don't run, D. Don't run.
I'm already.
You have your herbal essence at the reunion.
I'm already disconnected at that point. I just be like, I
always
got my kids on out of there and just roll on. See y'all later. See y'all tomorrow when y'all sleep it off.
I am so sorry y'all did not see what happened at that moment, y'all. Please catch the rebroadcast on the tune. But yeah, you already know, D. You already know. I mean,
when it comes down to family function, I am so children minded first. You know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. I mean, there's if I'm in a park, I'm quite sure there's a tree 5. Right. I would get it in, but I just don't
right now.
There's no need for me to get it in around the children. I don't even care. Well, my mother do it around me. That's your mother. They ain't got nothing to do with me.
Right. See, yeah, I feel the same way.
I mean, my thing is, I want everybody in the family to have a good time. So I know y'all gonna do these things. Look, we have a designated area for y'all off to the side, away from all the kids and stuff. Y'all go do y'all thing where y'all ain't got to go dip off and leave. But then when y'all get back, spray or something. Okay, we don't want to be smelling all that when we come back. And then come on, your family. Talk about hold on.
So that's how you really feel.
You got allowed. All right, then, cuz you good now?
Yeah. Well, what about the Sunday morning church service when they decide that everybody going to go to church the next day?
You know that's gonna be a problem too. You already know how some families. Hold on.
And you got about 7 preachers in the family, and everybody want to be the.
They don't
I'm like,
nobody
nah.
just to say they contributed. Yeah, then there's that part.
Right.
When people bring stuff to the family reunion, and you know ain't nobody trying to mess with that. Like, you know, it's always that one person in your family that grew up around other folks that didn't grow up like us, and they want to bring some type of thing that ain't nobody gonna eat, ain't nobody even seen before.
Are you talking about food still?
Yeah, that's part of what we're talking about.
We got on another subject.
Okay, yeah, we did. But okay, let's go there. Let's just say, you know, everybody in the family, they drinking yak and that type of stuff. But then you had that one person in the family,
Beer.
Here's this Jägermeister, dude. Let's drink that. And it's like, ain't nobody asked for that. But you said bring something, bro. So here it is, man. I brought the Jaeger, bro.
Bro, why not bring something that only you would drink, and then you ain't got to worry about sharing with nobody?
I know that's right.
That's what it is, y'all. There's your answer, bro.
Exactly. But then again, it's bring your own booze, right?
But
your own bottle or whatever.
They get participation points. Like, but I brought something, bro. I brought the Jaeger, but nobody wanted to drink the Jaeger with me, man.
I mean, y'all
who family you look. Boy Derrick, who family he talking about? Like some men?
Don't play.
That sound like the white family.
Right. They might bring look, let's keep it real. They might bring some Milwaukee Best. They might bring some Miller Ponies. They might bring some Miller High Life. They may bring some Budweiser, but Jägermeister, I don't think that's going to be no. They might even bring some Molson or some Heinekens. But Jägermeister.
What about guests?
Yeah, the guests. You know, because some of them going to have the guests. What's up, y'all? I'm Tyrone. This Becky.
Yes.
You know what? I wouldn't. You know the way my family is. I wouldn't bring that nan person around my family at a family reunion because it'd be too many. It'd be too many. Let me tell you, these people. I'd be like, good. No, you could go. You go to church service with them, but you can't go to the family reunion out in the park because you're gonna see a little bit of everything. No, that wouldn't. You would never come around me again if I brought a guest to my family.
Felicia said they could drink that mess by themselves.
And then you're going to have Uncle Bobby who's going to bring his Black Watch, of course. We can never forget about Black Watch vodka.
And then it's going to be the cousin that, you know, well, I heard y'all had the reunion. I got this Thunderbird. We can sip
I'm going to bring some, and you're going to have your cousin that's still looking for cold duck. I'm like, child, they stopped making that in 1907. What did you try?
Cold duck and Ripple. Remember that?
Right.
Cold Ripple.
Don't worry. Don't think about the Kentucky Tavern.
Oh man!
Wait a minute. Well, let's not forget everybody's favorite wine, Boone's Farm.
And then where I come from in Missouri, when I was in the white foster home, they was liking the Jack Daniels all the time.
And then in some parts of Missouri, they still making their own too.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Down there. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Oh, I seen Jack Daniels one day. I seen old boy Jack knock a lot of grown men out.
Messed up.
Jack Daniels and Jim Beam
knocked a lot of grown men out. I'd be like, okay, well, if like I said, I don't say that no more. You know that old saying, but if you like it, I love it. No, if you like it, you like it. That's your thing. I ain't got to love it because you like it.
Look at the pride. Talk about those Jaeger bombs are the shiznit. Oh, now, I had a Jaeger bomb or two in my day, Pride. I must admit that. But that being said,
you know what? Even back in the day when I drank, Jägermeister was I was like, girl, if I get drunk or real drunk, I ain't even gonna be able to pronounce no, child. It's something that I can pronounce whether I'm sober or drunk. No, child, that drink right there.
I mean, honestly, I ain't never been a drinker. I've never liked the taste of it, but right. I've been around enough of them that I
never liked the smell of beer. And then back to what you were saying about Sunday morning. See, the Sunday morning service after the family reunion. First of all, and guess what? They ain't gonna lie.
Like an Easter service.
Half of the people who went out that night, they still gonna come to church drunk because they still drunk from last night.
They didn't even go. They probably didn't even go home.
They're gonna keep on asking for these mint that's not helping because they're failing to realize that this alcohol is now coming out of your pores, honey. So I don't
Mhm.
care how many mints you put in your mouth. I know a couple of times when I was in there, I had made sure I said all the way. They said, "You okay? Yeah, I'm fine. I just need to be back here."
And then you always got the aunt or the uncle that wants to scream amen when everything else is silent. And
Right,
what you saying
Love
amen
you,
for?
church. Like, hold on. What the?
What he say amen for? Oh,
Right.
that's the alcohol talking from.
right. Yeah, so
Mhm.
that that Sunday morning service can be a very weird thing because then you got to think about the family members going over. Well, who church are we gonna have that? And blah. It's just that can
Yeah,
be so. That could be a big. And who pastor going to preach? Well, somebody in that family preacher, they going to preach. Yeah.
yeah,
Press
yeah.
on this Jaeger bombs, y'all. Jaeger by itself tastes like black licorice, but mix it with some Red Bull and make that Jaeger bomb, and I could mess with that.
But
Man,
even when I was drinking, I never could. Why would anybody want to add liquor to something like Red? Isn't Red Bull like give you a rush or something?
I'm gonna tell you, they had this drink around here that they called the trash can. It basically was green like Oscar the Grouch. It had some of
Mhm.
everything. It basically was like if you take a mixture of Long Island iced tea and the doggone Red Bull and some other liqueurs and put it all together.
That's almost like taking a whole bunch of Percocets or something.
When I
Yeah. I mean
I
that's it.
was I was not myself for 3 days after that.
The name itself to make
See,
you
I ain't
the name
trying. I ain't trying no craps. I'm sorry.
the name itself to make you the name itself should have made you go
Yeah.
hmm trash
Exactly.
can.
Trash
I was like
can.
no.
Well,
No.
I ain't thought about that after the first three, but yet I didn't.
Even I never was when it comes down to food and even when I drink, I never was one to try new stuff because my mind said if I try this and don't like it, I done wasted my money. So
Yeah. See, I'm like that too. I'm like that eating food.
yeah,
Going
somebody
to
be like,
some
wait, they be
restaurant,
like,
I'm gonna order something I already ordered because I ain't trying nothing new and waste it.
I have friends of mine. They be like, you want to go to dinner? Sure, where we going? Taco Bell. Like you should know, I know what I want at Taco Bell. I know what I like. I'm the kind of person. Even if you're taking me somewhere, I don't want us to go anywhere where I'm trying stuff on your dime. That's just not what I
Yeah,
do.
me too. I'm like that too. I agree.
But it's my treat. But yeah, but if your treat, I want you to treat me to something that we gonna eat.
Okay, I agree with Derek. Not too cool about drinking some ish called trash can, bro. Trust and believe. It actually tasted good, but man, the after effects.
Long Island
Leave
ice
you in the trash can. That's what
right.
it is.
Long Island iced cheese tastes good too, but once you get one too many of them, they catch up on you. You like somebody knocking at the door. No, boy, that's your head. Ain't nobody knocking at the door.
No, after 2 or 3 days,
Somebody's knocking at the door.
banging
Right.
at you,
Somebody's ringing the bell. Oh my goodness.
But no, but we wanted we wanted to talk about this situation where I'm ready to pull it up where a man finally admits that he beat the young black boy with the lock because he was black.
All right, break down the story, Derek. Break it down.
Let me pull it up for a
I don't
second.
even know that I heard about that.
Well, this
It's
actually happened in my state, but since Derek been checking my news, I'm checking his. That's how you found that on the news feed. But let me tell y'all, this is a trifling story indeed, y'all.
That's almost as bad as the one that the girl that brought. I mean, the boy that left his. I mean, the
right.
girl.
It says white Michigan man accused of attacking black teen with bike lock, yelling "Black lives don't matter."
Oh wow.
So
A
yes,
white
literally took the lock and hit the boy in the face with a bike lock. And I'm talking about a nice size
Yeah.
bike.
Oh
Y'all.
yeah, I know what. Yeah. Ooh.
and this man was 42 years old, and it was actually three of them there. He was actually trying to hit all of them, and it happened back in October of 2020. The guy name is Lee Moron. He
So
was
when are
charged.
we going to start calling things as they are? Why are we? I feel like that every time something happens, people want to give excuses of why people act the way they do. Can we just say evil? People are evil. There is some evil people in this
Yeah,
world that
yeah.
do not have a bit of moral character and decency within them
Or compassion.
or compassion. our empathy.
And just like Eric and I said earlier, and I tell people this over and over again. I say, you know what? We need to really, really, really realize that people are not born to hate; they're taught.
Taught hate. Yes.
Yes.
They don't come out. They don't
And-
come out their
and-
mother's womb just automatically saying, "I'm going to hate you because you black."
Right.
Because
Right.
they don't. When they're born, they don't know if you black, white, blue, green, orange, or purple. They don't know anything about you.
Right. Right. Just like the colors are taught. Just like
are
different colors are
learned
taught.
behaviors. They are learned behaviors taught
Mhm.
to you by
Mhm.
people who do them. You
But
don't
I
know
and,
that in your brain.
and they were in a park. Now listen, they were in the park, and the man said he got irritated because they were playing their music too loud. So you got so irritated to the point that you had to get a lock instead of walking over there and calmly saying, can you? So you this whole thing was premeditated. Period.
Yeah. 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 Because the reality is, if I go to the park, which we go to the park a lot with my daughter, okay,
Mhm.
and the reality is, there's times I go to the park and I hear music I do not want to be hearing. F your mama, black
Yeah.
people and white people, on all kinds of different types of music.
Mhm.
But I have the right to walk away from that park and not go there. How about that? You know what I'm saying? I'm like, why is it that you feel like you got to go to somebody else and tell them what they should and shouldn't be doing? If it's disturbing you that bad, put some earphones on.
You go,
You know
Jesus
what I'm saying?
is
Or
sweet.
just leave.
And you
Leave.
know what? And you know what? Not only that, now they actually have parks that won't allow you to bring speakers in their park. So why don't
Mhm.
you go to one of them parks and then you got to worry about nobody playing anything?
Right.
Exactly.
Right. Right. I just think that we cater into the wants of what somebody else thinks. Just like they say, well, okay, I don't why is these black people grilling over here? And the woman want to call the police. If grilling is your problem and you don't want nobody to grill, then get the heck out the park. Why are
Exactly.
you there?
Right.
That's
Because
what park is for.
you know that's what the park is for. Now if they was grilling on the sidewalk in the middle of Main Street, you have your mouth open about that. So it's like a catch-22, and these excuses that people are using are not justifiable. I'm
They're not
sorry. There's no way in the
justifiable at all.
world you're
None.
gonna justify to me why you hit a young black teenager in the face. You knocked out 3 of his teeth. You fractured his jaw.
Mm, mm, mm.
And after all this time, now you're finally telling people that you did it because he was black. Ray Charles could have seen you did it because he was black.
Right. Right.
And Ray Charles is blind and dead. So what
And,
does that
and this is and it's I'm sorry to cut you, and it's not all about race either, because I was just like the other day with the black man that kicked the Asian woman down. Did y'all see
Right.
that?
Yeah.
You know, I mean, it's really just about hate in general. It does,
Yeah.
you know, it really is. It's just like, where's y'all's I don't even understand it. I know it's sin. I know it's sin, and I know it's because people have been separated from the love of God. They really have. They don't
Right.
have any moral character. They don't have any moral decency or relationship. And once you really are separated from the love of God, and I ain't trying to put your show in a religious thing, but I can't help but talk about it a little bit, because it's like, if you once you start sinning, and sin takes you further, it takes you further than you want to go and keeps you longer than you want to be kept. All
Mhm.
sin does. But when you don't realize, when it attacks that moral character, you know, sometimes you're born with some things and then people teach you things. But by the time you get to be an adult, you know right from wrong of certain things. You know that going by and kicking a person in the head and all that is wrong, whether you're 15 years old or 50 years old. You know it's wrong.
And even if you don't know inherently it's wrong, you know it's a crime. And
There you go. There you
crime,
go.
there are
There you
consequences.
go.
And excuse me for cutting you off. And what have I said here lately, Eric? I said, I need y'all to stop saying, "Oh, if you know better, you do better." That's a lie.
That's
A
no.
lot of people know better and don't have no intentions on doing better.
Doing better.
Period. So
They
these
don't.
these little cute little anecdotes we be coming up with, we really need to check them. Everybody that know better don't do better. If they did that, man, if they did, that person wouldn't have just killed 10, never had a damn mass shooting over there. If he know better, he would do better.
Right. Right.
And see, another thing
But
is,
if you know better, you do better is somebody that has some type of level of consciousness of who I don't some moral character, something moral, a moral being within themselves. But once people get at a certain level of hate and pride and
nothing you can do about it.
it's the destruction of the soul. And once the
Yeah.
soul is pierced
Yeah.
and gone from your creator, then there is nothing that's going to put you back together again in case you come through, through the word. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
And that's
People have to realize, and like I tell people, one thing I'm grateful for is that I'm in a space now that I'm learning to pull positive things out of negative situations in my life, because if I don't, it could be it will make me unbalanced.
Mhm.
I have to be balanced mentally, spiritually, and physically.
Yeah.
So in doing that, sometimes I can't go certain places.
Right. And the hate that people have, okay, it's just like, and I'm just gonna go here and please don't, it's nothing personal. I'll put it like that.
Come on, doctor, say it, honey. This is
But-
a good time. Don't be making me nervous, woman.
No, but when just like in a situation and a person says, okay, I'm a lesbian or I'm gay or I'm homosexual or whatever the case is, I'm a minister. I don't have no hate towards that person, period. I don't, because I have no right to judge them one way or another. That's between them and their God, them and God, however you want to say it. So I don't have no hate like that. But all I can tell a person is say, what thus saith the Lord. And in time, my prayer is that they at some point reach a understanding with God where God brings about certain changes in that person's life. If he does it in my eyesight, it doesn't matter, because it's not about me. It's not. And so you get these people that hate all kinds of things. I hate blacks, I hate whites, I hate Asians, I hate this, I hate that. But the reality is, if you love God, you're able to love everybody. It doesn't matter what color of their skin or anything else is.
You know what, Doc, and to add on to that, what I think people is failing to realize is, and I tell people this all the time, I don't hate you per se. I dislike a whole lot of the things that
you do. There you go. Yeah.
You cool with me. As long as what you do, you're respectful of what you do, and you're not. I don't know. I can. There's no way possible I can say I love and I serve a God, and then out the next breath I'm saying, I really hate you.
Right. How do you minister to somebody?
And then but then you try to justify that. You know what? I really hate you, but I love God. Okay.
Right. Everybody is not. Okay. Some people are. How do I want to say that? Because everybody that say they're a Christian is not a Christian, and we use that word very loosely anyway. It's very loosely used anyway. But in my personal relationship with God, I can't look at you, or anybody else and say, I can't love that person. I may not like everything you do, but that's where prayer comes in. I pray for you. I pray for, you know what I'm saying? Just like I would like, if you don't like something about me, pray for me. Pray for me. It doesn't take me saying, you know what, I can't stand that person, and you know what, I'm not going to do this, and they need to be kicked off of this, and they don't need to be doing this, and that is not my call. It's never my call, because God calls who he chooses, and he changes who he wants to change, and who allows him to let them change him.
That's that, and I say this on all of my platforms, as I can possibly say. I tell people all the time, look, I have my own personal relationship with my higher being, my high call. I'm not here to tell nobody, well, you wrong for this, that's your thing. And once you get convicted about that thing, I'm happy for you. But I'm just at a point now where I'm tired of people hating people and can't even tell you why they hate them.
Right.
First of all, there's no way you're going to justify to me how you can hate another human being.
Right. You can't. You should.
And then in the same breath, you saying hallelujah, thank you, Jesus. Oh God, girl, come on, stop playing.
You can't. And even if a person has a hiccup, and I call it a hiccup because I say there are people that have situations that they have yet not allowed God to deliver them in. And that's not to say your life, my life, or anybody else's life. They know what God needs to deliver them in for them to be walking parallel to what God wants. That's not for me to choose when it happens, because only God knows, and only He can do what I can't do, period.
Right.
So I don't have it's not for me to even go there.
And that's why he's God, and he's God all by himself, and he don't need help from nobody. Because if he did,
He don't need none of my help, because when I fix something, this show ain't gonna be fixed right.
I hear that.
Go ahead, see what Pride said. This has been a good conversation. Oh, it's past your bedtime, Doc.
It's past mine. It's 2:00 in the morning. I got to go to bed. Oh, Jesus.
Oh yeah, it is on 12:30. Okay. Lanier saying the hate we are seeing is like any form of bullying and abuse. It has a chain. One ethnic social group abuses goes to abuse the next seemingly vulnerable ethnic social group.
But you know, Dr. Marley, the thing that got me was like, I cannot understand that. And maybe and y'all listen to where I'm going with this. I cannot understand that. An African American would do a hate crime on it. I'm like that. Like,
and I was like, what? I kept asking my husband, "Are you sure he was really black?"
Right. I'm like that. I mean, I'm like, you know what? That whatever you did, that was, to me, that was deeper than that woman's nationality, because I can't. I'm like, what the? And when you said that, I was like, I know daggone what she did not just say.
Like I said, it come off as like that was something very personal that went on. Like somebody specifically who happens to be an agent did something to you that caused you to do that at that moment.
I bet he was. You know what I think? I think he was paid by somebody to do it.
Probably.
Because think about it. She was just walking up the. I mean, we talking about the Asian lady. She was just walking up. She's just walking up the side of a business place, and it was like, why? Okay, so she was there. He knew she was. He had to have known, or something had to have happened where he just come down the street and just kicked her. Just started kicking her. I mean, kicked her like you kick. Well, worse than the people. People don't even kick their animals like that.
I don't. You know that when Doc said that, I was like, okay. I don't. That one. I mean. And it's not right either way, but I would have been more apt to hear that this black man kicked the shit out of somebody white. Excuse me, Doc, but for him, that took me.
But the whole Asian, I was kind of
right. I was like, wow.
And that's why I said I think he was probably paid, because it's like that Asian hate, the whole hate,
right.
The whole Asian hate thing coming on. So now it's probably like people are like, hey, because he's in a homeless shelter already. They found out he would come from a homeless shelter. Somebody probably paid him to just do it. Go kick the shit out of this Asian woman coming.
Yeah, give you $20, and
he was happy. $20.
Yeah, I don't, and I wouldn't put it past because
drug habit or something. He did it for something, because I just don't think that he just went and kicked her for no. I think somebody paid him, gave him some drug, did something to it. It don't
benefit him, because I can't see just a man living in a shelter just walk up and just kick the mess out of an Asian woman.
Like I said, it just don't make no logical sense. And like I said, there's some other factor involved in that, shape or form. It got it.
I could imagine that the Asian woman was just as tiny as she wanted to be, because
she was 65. She was 65 years old, and she was 5 foot.
Okay, hold on, Price Truman in
something like that.
Not to make any excuses for anyone, trust me, but hasn't history taught us that when the economy declines, memberships in hate groups and incidents increase? And when you add COVID, I'm not surprised by any of this. That's a very good point, Brian.
Yeah. But that's why I said he probably paid something, because
I mean, and just like I tell people when we talk on the show a lot of times, I tell people, sometimes we need to sit back and really look at how different our life is now than it was 2 years ago.
Yeah, because I'd have been on a whole lot of vacations by now, and I ain't
right. And you still got people who are determined that they're not going to walk around with a mask over their face and all of that.
Still walking in places knowing that you need to have a mask, purposely so. Camera on, like, yep, I ain't got on no mask, trying to go viral and all that.
But then I heard a lot of people say, well, the owners of blah blah. I said, yes, I know the owners should say. I said, but you know what? At this particular point in time, in this day and time, sometimes owners don't say stuff out of fear. Sometimes bus drivers don't say stuff out of fear, because I've seen bus drivers getting fights because they done told somebody to put on your mask. I'm like, whoa, are you that serious?
The corner store where I go, that's exactly what it is. They scared that these people gonna break in their store again, like they did last year, or burn that boy down, as one of the customers said the other day. When I mentioned something about it, man, don't listen to him. I'll burn his joint down. You better not say nothing about me. I have no mask on. I mean, it's ridiculous.
Yeah, yeah.
And then that's hurtful for their business because if you're a person and you into this, if you're gonna, well, I can't. It's not that I don't want to be, but I can't be in your store because you have all these people in your store but don't have on no
Right.
mask.
Me
The
too.
way I say that now is this: when I go to the corner store and it's like 3 no masks, okay, I'll be back.
Right. It's this
Yeah.
this 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 thing has like I say, I always say the COVID has been a blessing to me. It has brought new people into my life that I probably would have never met because I didn't
Amen.
start
Me
my
too.
right. I didn't start my podcast until after the COVID thing hit.
Okay, kind of like the movie Do the Right Thing when Spike Lee purposely made everything happen on the hottest day of the year. Yeah,
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
the method in his movie making is very interesting, y'all. Y'all
Yeah.
check out some of his interviews in regards
Hey
to that.
y'all, it's 2 a.m. I got to go to bed. I got to get my daughter up for school tomorrow.
Oh, we sorry.
But it's been great. It's been great.
Thank you very much, and thank you for your insight on the George Floyd trial. We're gonna have to come back again, the three of
definitely
us,
gonna
and
have to keep talking about it. We
once
need to
once
get,
it gets a little once it get a little bit more to the defense side, because that's when things gonna get real stupid.
yeah. We need a every other day or every few days checkup.
Right. At least 3 times a week because that's something that we have to keep in the limelight. And Eric, another thing we have to keep on keeping on is keep on harping on those voter right changes that they made in Georgia, and
Yeah.
people be aware, honey, because this stuff might
It's
and keep in
43
mind, and a lot of
states.
people
It's
don't realize that
43
Maryland,
states
guess what?
already.
We're still considered a southern state.
Right,
Yeah.
because keep in mind, now we got Tennessee considering some changes as well. So yeah, we definitely got to keep an eye on that type of stuff.
Yeah. It's 43 different states that are
I
already trying
keep up the good
to
work,
change
y'all. Thanks, Pride. We appreciate it.
43.
it. 43 states already
Wow.
that are starting to rewrite some of their voting stuff. They ain't put it into action yet, but they're doing it, and you can
Right.
imagine what they're doing.
And they're not all Republican states either. They
Oh
trying to
no, oh no, they're
they
Democrats.
trying to do some of that here in Michigan. That's why I
Yeah,
know.
yeah, they are. All right, y'all.
Crazy
Peace
how-
All
out.
right. Peace.
Love you guys.
Right,
Bye-bye.
All right. Love you too. I don't, Eric. This was a good show. I'm glad you did it. I'm glad Doctor was in here. I like, I like when the show have that balance. It's not always everybody. I like when the show had that good cop, bad cop balance, and that was tonight was, and y'all made some very this George
Right.
this
And I definitely want to thank you guys. Not so much on Instagram. Didn't have much going on tonight. That's okay. But Bigo, y'all was on it. I definitely thank you guys for y'all comments. Y'all definitely added to the discussion. I appreciate you.
Thank you, Pride. We most definitely enjoyed this, and like we always say, our shows are nothing if it without you guys. You guys comments and you statements. You guys keep me going, and like we said, we're gonna make a promise. At least if I'll say this and I can stick to it. At least if we can't do nothing else, we will at least once a week report on what's going on with the George Floyd trial. Because I don't want to say. I'm not going to say we're going to do it. I know we can do it once a week, but if we do it more than fine. But always know that at least once a week, we're going to have some sort of commentary on the George Floyd trial because I think we as a people, we need to stay abreast to what's going on and be on top of this because this has to stop.
Right. Because keep in mind, this is just one of several trials that's probably going to jump off. Remember, we still got the Aubrey trial from Georgia. You still got the trial for Jacob Blake that went on. You also got the trial because at some point the Breonna Taylor situation going to have to come to a head. We can't just let it ride the way they let it ride.
And this trial for the guy in Detroit, they ready to take him to trial because this thing happened all the way back in October of 2020, which
Right.
really wasn't that far ago. But we got, and I just like I say, I keep on imploring you guys, I keep on telling you guys over and over again, and now especially with this election stuff, please be as in tune to your local elections just as well as your national elections. Yeah, we need to get out there.
Just because we voted, a couple years ago, that don't mean it ended, okay? It's all
Right.
types of things constantly going on, y'all. Please be mindful of that in regards to some of the decision makers and the decision making that they're doing because these things happening and we're not even realizing what's going on in regards to it.
And like Big Red said on the show, they purposely made that voters act the way that it is so they can come back whenever they want to it and tweet it and do whatever. But we need to get it to the point that it's no longer just a voting act.
Right. And certain things just automatically happen no matter what. They can't just keep changing how people vote and whether they can
Right,
vote by mail and all that. We need to have it to where these things are permanent law.
right. And this is what I'm saying. If any of you guys see anything that Stacey Abrams is doing and she's doing anything, if y'all can send her $1, $2, please do because she is. When it comes down to politics, she is a political guru. I'm trying to tell you.
Right. Shout out to Stacey Abrams. Absolutely. Okay. Road is saying people who protested about it, some of them are dead because of it. Exactly. And don't let these people die in vain. Don't let their efforts to make sure that people do right by us just go by the wayside because all of a sudden we got lazy now, forgot what's really going on out here.
Right. We need y'all to. We need y'all to make it a law, and that's your way of saying that. Yeah, we lawfully have the right to vote, and every 3 months or 4 months or 2 years, you don't have the right to come back and always change shit because you, as a Republican Party, lost. Get over it.
Exactly. So yeah, this, like I said, I agree, brother. This was definitely a good show. I appreciate the comment. Thank you to my cousin, Dr. Marla Facey, for joining us, and also to all you guys who have tuned in and joined in the comments. The Near Pride, cousin Doris, you Felicia, you Roll, awesome, awesome, awesome. Even you, Chris, I see you pop in on the gram. Thank you for chiming in. We appreciate you.
We love you guys, and um, before we leave and do the final commercial, Eric is gonna do a little commercial showing you guys, all the wonderful programs on the Nighthawk Network. Cause honey, but he know him verbatim because he the COO. I can't remember all of them. So Eric, you do that first.
Okay, well, let me break it down for y'all, for all y'all on all the various platforms. This is just one of several shows that we do here on the Nighthawk Network. Among them, this one being the Remixx with Derrick, but also there's a fine show that he is very much a part of. We call that show Hey Bitches with host Helena Hologram. For those of you who don't know, particularly y'all on the Vigo, you will see Helena Hologram. Make sure y'all look that up and follow that person because that person is this person is that person. In other words, they are going to educate you on Audible and most platforms in regards to that. You can also find them at Helena Hologram on IG as well. Hey Bitches is the show that is done Monday. For those of you who don't know, Derrick is Helena Hologram, a male illusionist.
Female illusionist.
The female's a musician. Sorry about that. Matter of fact, explain this to them, Derrick. You do it better than I.
All right. Well, on all of my platforms, even Facebook, you're always going to see the name Helena Hologram. Helena Hologram is my stage name. I've been performing for 22 years in the business. Derek is the one who makes Helena Hologram. So a lot of times, even in the Bigo streets, you're always going to see Helena Hologram, but you're always going to see Derek in the window. Now, I did say to myself one time that I'm going to do a Bigo as a Helena Hologram after. I would only be able to do it after my shows on Monday. So even maybe Monday evenings or Monday early morning, you may get the opportunity to see Helena Hologram on Bigo, but most of the time it's going to be Derek.
Yeah, so like I said, be looking for Helena Hologram on Bigo. One of the great things that Helena's starting to do, Helena slash Derrick, is that we've got this thing that we're calling gospel therapy. Please check it out next time that it goes on. I'll make sure that when we are a part of it, I will share the live so you guys can check it out. Definitely a great thing. Did it the other day. I loved it very much. Continue to do so, Derrick. Okay, also some of our other shows, like I said, we had Dr. Facey check in this evening. Monumental Moments in God's Word is her show. You can find that Thursday nights on the book or on Instagram or YT, as we so call it here on Devo. We can find that show there. It usually comes on about 8 p.m. So check that out. We also have Dish and Tea with Big Meat, Aunt Nikki, and Big Red. You can find that show Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. You can find that at Dish and Tea with Big Meat on YT. Also, they have an Instagram page as well. We have Stan Mason Behind the Blue Curtain. That's a show about police reform and other issues involving police and things of that nature. You can find that Saturday at 11 a.m. there on all these platforms as well. They're going to be talking about the George Floyd trial on that particular episode. They got some prosecutors and stuff as part of that discussion. You definitely want to check it out. We got the Girl Stop podcast. You can find that wherever you find any of your podcasts. That's Google, Apple, so on and so forth. You can find it there. They're also on Spotify. Pastor Sean Love Presents. You can find him on YT as well as the Nighthawk Network information page, which you can find on the book. That show comes on once a week, as well as the Girl Stop podcast. We have the After Dark edition that we'll be doing again next week about this time. Our special guest will be Shy Glow Hard. Shout out to you, Shy Glow Hard, if you are looking, whether it's now or in the rebroadcast. Looking forward to having that discussion with you. Shy Glow Hard from Bigo. In the Bigo Street, you can find her at Shy Glow Hard. Check her out. Excellent follow. We also have Game Time Audible with my boy Hugh Lee. You can
Yeah,
find
Hugh.
his book, and also you can find his sports blog, Pure to the Game, on the book as well. And also we have coming soon Israel's Room. Israel's Room with our nephew Israel. He'll be checking in a week, as well as the Gospel According to Pride. Pride Hunter also checked into the show this evening. His show will be coming to you live and direct next week, next Tuesday, in fact. You can look for that about 6:30. We probably will broadcast that here on Vigo as well. So be looking out for that as well.
So that means we got another wonderful show. It's weird. So I mean, we got another wonderful show coming from the city of Detroit, right?
Absolutely.
And then we have another wonderful show coming from the city of Baltimore.
Also correct.
Okay. Well, what we're gonna do, guys? I thank you guys. Like I say, we enjoy having these platforms to talk about things that a lot of people seem like that the only time they get a chance to talk about it is here. But guess what? We're here.
Yes, we are. We are here and we're here for you. And remember, if there's other things that you guys want us to talk about, whether it be here on Instagram, which we're checking out on. So, yeah, thank you, Instagram, for checking in with us. We appreciate you. But also for people on Bigo, if you want us to talk about certain things on the podcast, things that y'all can interact in as we broadcast this live on Bigo, please let us know. You can contact me at nighthnetwork313 at gmail.com, or you can leave it in my chat here as Uncle Nighthawk. And also for you guys here, y'all can leave it on Eric Buckner on the book, as well as you can leave it in our chats under any of our platforms. So if you can find us on Instagram or YouTube, here on the book or Bigo, you can leave it under any of those chats, and we'll get back to you in regards to those things.
And Dr. Marla say new coming, new coming.
And also new coming to the network, we have her new show, No Weapon Formed Against Us, with Lady Tamisha and Dr. Marla. So be looking
That's
out for
gonna be
that.
hot.
That's going to be an excellent show. They're going to talk about a lot of things in regards to several different topics. So you definitely want to check that out.
Yeah, so guys, like we say, we most definitely enjoy you. We appreciate you. Like Eric said, we try to say it all the time. When you get a chance, all those wonderful shows he said, you get a chance, go over on YouTube and like them and subscribe to them. We would greatly appreciate it. You know, tell a friend for them to do it. And we just it's we enjoy doing this, and we like to bring you information and try to have as much knowledge on that information as possible, and maybe pique your curiosity to make you want to check into some of these things, make you want to maybe start to possibly think about following the George Floyd trial, and or how you can make it a teachable moment to people in your family.
Or think about how y'all going to set up your family reunion next time around, so that we don't have a lot
Woo!
of foolishness and nasty food. So, yeah, these are the things that we like to have you guys think about. So, those are the discussions that we have. So, next time when it comes up, yeah, let me do my research and figure out how to do this thing. Because that
And
conversation,
remember, y'all, please be prepared. You know, Vicki Lawrence did a song a long time ago when the lights went out in Georgia. Well, the lights went out on Calhoun Street in Baltimore tonight. So
yeah, Cuz said, thanks, y'all. I have such a nice time with you tonight. You as well,
thank you
Cuz.
so much.
Love you,
We
Cuz.
thank you so much.
Right.
So,
And
guys, we want to say thank you. We appreciate you. We got Big Meats up tomorrow, Edition T. We got Stan on Saturday. We got E-Buck. He usually do his pre-shows on Sundays, and then you got that the other white meat, Helena Hologram on Monday.
but yeah, like I said, they're all good shows, all a lot of good content, things you can learn and will entertain you as well. So please check them out on all the various platforms. We appreciate y'all very much. With that being said, this is Derek Show, so the last word will go to Derek.
Well, guys, I just want to say thank you all for being a part. Thank you guys for making us realize that what we do is necessary and needed, and we're gonna do everything that we can. Oh no, she did.
You like
Doctor Funk,
you
please
like
be there.
your
You know, that's something that I could never expect to come from you. But anyway, we thank you, God, and just keep in mind, just always remember to Like my little brother always say, give everybody their flowers now while they can still smell them, and it won't hurt you to pray for somebody else.
Absolutely. Bottom line is this life ain't about just you. You are here to serve a purpose for the collective, y'all. So keep that in mind. Remember that
And like and like our wonderful brother Stan say, and remember, say it, Eric.
as always, Stan will tell you, life is not a Trump rally. Please wear your mask and be safe. And in the end, tell them if they can't give you 6 feet horizontal, then they're gonna have it vertical because they're gonna be looking at the room of the church. You see what I'm saying?
Okay.
So that being said, y'all, we about to get up out of here. Thank you again for tuning in. We appreciate it on all the platforms. Appreciate y'all very much. Thank you to my brother Derrick. It was
That's what's
awesome.
up.
Definitely gonna be doing it again soon. So until next time, we is up out. 2 fingers. Peace.
that was
All right. That worked out pretty good.
that was an excellent show.
Yes. Okay, according to Bigo, we have 484 viewers pop in and out. Now that's how you get an audience, baby.
Yeah.
We have about 12 to 15 pop in and out on IG. And we'll have to see what our numbers look like for this. Oh, hold on. Stop.